Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Champman FPL Game Week 14 live. Sorry to keep a few of you waiting this afternoon. OBS is on its time of the month and just didn't want to know me today. Hope everybody's well. Very good luck in this game week as per usual. We'll start with a toast. I'm on 5.6% as today, so yeah, could be some fun. FPL Tactician, Simple Goal _FPL, James Lapron. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. And my man, FPL Captain, coming to the rescue as per usual on the graphics. So, day has already started with a big result, as you can see, top right-hand corner of your screen. Leeds have beaten Charlton 4-0. I think for those of us with no Leeds assets like myself, it's actually come off as a little bit of an escape considering that scoreline. Goals for Mark Viduka, Alan Mabry, Stephen McPhail and Robbie Keane. McPhail also got an assist, and there was an assist for Gary Kelly. Obviously, we knew yesterday, for those who follow Rob Pick, the CMFPL scout, that neither Ian Hart or Harry Kewell were going to be in that Leeds side. It didn't matter. They gave Charlton a smashing with some ease here. Mark Kinsella of Charlton was the only yellow card in the game. Bonus points went to 3 bonus points to Stephen McPhail. Goal and assist, 3 bonus points. His man of match rating was a 10 out of 10. There were substitute appearances for Eric Bakker, Rio Ferdinand, John Robinson and Graham Stewart. Just a note on the Charlton team, 7 of the starting 11 produced a 5 out of 10 rating. I think that tells you how bad they were. Dean Kiley in Charlton goal picked up 1 save point bonus. Obviously, importantly, as you'll see from the fixture ticker that's going around, Leeds now blank in game weeks 15 and 16. Charlton will come back double game week 15 with a double, home to Liverpool and away to Derby. So let's get into the team news for the 3 o'clockers. And we'll start at Aston Villa, at Villa Park, where Villa host the team from the Riverside. Villa make 3 changes. There is no place in the Aston Villa lineup for Lord Staunton. He's not in the team. No place either for George Boateng or Dion Dublin. Alan Wright, Ian Taylor and Juan Pablo Angel come into the side. Villa revert to their more common home formation of a 3-5-2. It's Schmeichel in goal. Back 3 is Alpay, Barry, Melberg. Barry allowed to step out from that back 3. Alan Wright and Stephen Carr are the wing backs. Midfield 3 is Ian Taylor, Paul Merson, Mustafa Hadji. Up front, Bosco Balaban, Juan Pablo Angel play as split forwards. On the bench for Villa, Enkelman, Vassell, Dublin, Cashlaw, Steve Stone. So if Staunton's in your starting lineup, whoever's your first sub is coming in. For Middlesbrough, just the 1 change. Dean Windass is in for Jonathan Greenan. They are a very settled side at the moment, which is good news for those who are looking at them, I think, for double game week 15 and beyond. They are Mark Crossley in goal. It's Stockdale, Southgate, Egiog, Fester, Johnston, Ince, Windass, Gordon, Rickard, Boxic. On the bench, Schwarzer, Whelan, Arturo Bernhardt, Andrew Campbell and Nemeth. Just a note on Borough, obviously they've not played since the 2-1 win against Sunderland in game week 12. I did buy Emerson Boyce in the run-up to the game week 13 deadline. A little bit of suspicion that he might take over from Robbie Stockdale in the full-back position. That's not the case at the moment. On to Ewood Park. Blackburn have decided they're going to try and play football today. It's the more common home fixture when they're playing a side of equal ability or weaker. They are in a 3-4-1-2. There are 3 changes to that Blackburn side. Obviously, Marcus Bent and Corrado Grabby come back in. Graham Lasso starts for Blackburn at left wing back. I have to say, I completely missed the confirmation of his transfer from Chelsea. Out of that side come Stiging Bjornaby, Gary Flitcroft and Craig Hignett. Blackburn are Alan Kelly retains his place in goal still over Brad Friedel. Back 3 is Curtis, Berg, Taylor. Wing backs encouraged to push on are Graham Lasso and Jason McAteer. It's Tugay and Alan Mahon centrally. Matt Jansen plays in the 10 position, very much encouraged to push on and join the front 2 of Marcus Bent and Corrado Grabby. On the bench with Friedel is James Thomas, Bjornaby, David Dunn and Damien Duff is back on the bench for Blackburn. They host Derby County, who, for those taking note on the stream last week, would have noticed I said just about the worst team that you can go and invest in at the moment. Because I just think the idea that it was going to end up a single game week fixture, even if that Charlton rearranged fixture got put in, just seemed to blast on by people. So Derby have a single game week fixture in game week 15, which will be part of the second part of the game week at home to Charlton, as their fixture with Leeds is postponed. Derby make two changes. Daryl Powell is back from a ban, and Giorgio Kinkladze starts up front, 4.5 million OOP, which means no place in the team for Malcolm Christie or Adam Murray, both of whom are on the bench. Derby, a 3-5-2, Poom, Riggott, Carbonari, Elliott. Wingbacks are Aranio and Johnson. Midfield 3, Powell, Valakri, Burley, Kinkladze, Ravanelli. Players split forwards. On the bench with Christie and Murray, Andy Oakes, Branko Stupar, Daniele Dianio. On to the Reebok, where Paul Warhurst retains his place at centre forward. Is there something in this? 4.5 million defender. He is capable of playing up front. Those from the 90s will remember particularly a spell at Sheffield Wednesday when he played up front. He starts up front again today with Henrik Pedersen. There is just the one change for Bolton. It's Nicky Sutherland for Simon Charlton at left wing back. So no place again for Michael Ricketts. It's Jaskalainen in goal. Back three of Cooper, Hendry and Gotti. Southall and Madison the wing backs. Nolan, Lee, central midfield. Rodney Wallace in the 10 position, encouraged to push on and support Warhurst and Henrik Pedersen. Franson, Ricketts, Hansen, Nishikawa and goalkeeper Steve Banks are the Bolton substitutes. They host Newcastle, who will be without Alan Shearer, likely up to game week 16. We think he will return. He's the only absence from that Newcastle 11 that started in a defeat to Spurs. Craig Bellamy is back fit and starts. Newcastle are Given, Barton, Marcelino, Davizas. Robbie Elliott this week at left back, which means Olivier Bernard at left midfield. Kieran Dyer plays on the right again. It's Sapunsis and Besaidis central midfield. Besaidis, I notice now, most key passes in the game, other than the three attacking midfielders at Manchester United. Bellamy is partnered up front by Cole Court. On the bench for Newcastle, Otto Fredriksson is the sub-keeper. Lamana Lualua, Gary Speed, Delapo, and Shula Amiyubi. To Craven Cottage, there is one change for Fulham. It's a very positive one. Alan Gomer is back from injury, comes in for Andy Melville. Otherwise, they are unchanged. Steve Malbronk and Sylvain Legwinski swap positions somewhat. Malbronk goes back into a central attacking midfield position. Legwinski plays on the right and midfield. It's Van der Sar in goal. Corrigan, Gomar, Wadu and Harley the back four. Legwinski, Malbronk, Colin Stolzers in midfield. Marley and Luis Belmonte again up front. Louis Sahar is not among the Fulham substitutes. I think he may have picked up an injury actually. Mike Taylor, Melville, Callum Willock, Barry Howells, Kieran McAnespie are the Fulham substitutes. There are four changes for Arsenal, headlined by the fact that Robert Perez and Thierry Henry are back in the Arsenal lineup. There are also places in the starting 11 for Oleg Luzny, who's back in for Lauren. And Ray Parlour is also back in. Kanu is injured. Lundberg and Van Bronckhorst miss out for Arsenal. It's Seaman in goal. Oleg Luzny, Adams and that other prick. Ashley Cole, you're back for. Ray Parlour, Albertini, Perez essentially allowed to attack. Tikhonov is on the left. It's Henry and Francis Jeffers up front, which means Dennis Bergkamp is only back fit enough for a place on the bench. He's joined on that bench by Jermaine Pennant, Matt Upson, Graham Barrett and sub-keeper Richard Wright. To Portman Road, two changes for Ipswich, one many of us would have predicted and perhaps some of you would have very much hoped for. Matteo Sereni is back in goal in place of Andy Marshew, and Gardso misses out at centre half. There is a start for John McGreal in the centre of that Ipswich back three. Otherwise they are unchanged and beginning to get a little bit settled. It's Sereni in goal in a 3-5-2 formation. Horidison, McGreal, Bramble, Clapham and Tariko, obviously your wing backs. Jermaine Wright keeps his place with Matt Holland, Jason Kuma, central midfield. Pablo and Finidi George play as split forwards. On the bench for Ipswich is Andy Marshall and Thomas Gardso. Chris Makin, Tommy Miller, Martin Reusser. Interestingly, Alan Armstrong, not one of those substitutes. So could be the full 90 minutes for Pablo and Finidi. I think a few out there may well have them as differentials. They host Southampton today, which is always a bit of a guessing game, picking their, not so much the personnel, but the positioning of their back four particularly. There are 2 changes for them. No place for Jason Dodd, who seems to be the most common one in and out. Also, no place in the Southampton lineup for Gavin Ray, who was around about 90% fit, but does not take his place in the Southampton 16. In come Joe Tessum and Mark Draper into midfield, which means Dan Petrescu goes back to right back. Southampton are Paul Jones in goal, back 4 of right to left of Petrescu, Rory Delap, Klaus Lundekvam, Wayne Bridge. Midfield 4 right to left is Joe Tessum, Mark Draper, Murray and Anders Svensson. Up front, Marian Pahars and again Kevin Davis. James Beattie is only a substitute. So when 2 weeks ago Beattie got in, perhaps it was the rotation to give Davis a rest rather than the sort of the thinking that might have been that Beattie's got his place back. Doesn't seem that way. It looks like it's going to be Davis and Pahars. I would suggest any of them 3 are a risk for those using in game week 15. Southampton benches: Beattie, Neil Moss, Jason Dodd, Brian Howard and Danny Ferreira Rodriguez. No, me neither. Not a clue. 2 changes for Liverpool, who host the flying Leicester City. Well, at least it feels like it from FPL asset perspective. Wise and Scowcroft now 3rd and 4th highest FPL scorers so far this season. Unbelievably, James Scowcroft with 78 FPL points, Dennis Wise 69. There were 2 changes for Liverpool, one of them enforced again as that injury table continues to mount up with numbers. John Onorisa is out for around about a month. It means that Vegard Hegem is in at right back and Jamie Carragher switches to left back. Daniel Sutherland is in up front. There is no place in 11 for Danny Murphy. Interestingly, in this game, the simulation is happening on the Sunday. Obviously, we had percentage of fitness up to the Saturday. I noted that Biscan was 88%, Barnby 87%, Murphy 80%. Obviously, Murphy is the one that's missed out. He probably only would have been around about, I guess, 87-80% fitness, whereas the other 2 should have been up to around about 95% fitness. So Liverpool: Dudek in goal, Hegem, Hippier, Henshaw, Carragher, Biscan, Haman, Gerrard, Barnby, Sutherland and Fowler. On the bench, Kirkland, Jamie Redknapp, Alan Navarro, Gregory Vignal and Stephen Wright. For Leicester, interestingly, just the one change, but a slight adjustment in system. It is 4-4-2, which means James Scowcroft plays right up front with Dean Sturridge. The change is at right back. Gary Rowett comes back in. It means that Robbie Savage goes back to right midfield and teenager Joby McAnuff is the one to miss out. And also, Ian Walker is back in goal, so that didn't last very long for Tim Flowers, did it? So it's Walker in goal, Rowett, Elliott, Taggart, Delaney, Savage, Wise, Izzet, Impey. Savage, Izzet, Impey, all encouraged to attack. I think this could be a really open game at Anfield. Sturridge, Scowcroft up front. On the bench for Leicester, Flowers, McAnuff, Trevor Benjamin, Matt Heath, Arnold and Laugson. Obviously, 2 forwards on the bench there for Leicester. For Manchester United, 2 changes. No place in the United lineup for Dennis Irwin or Dwight York, who I'd seen a few perhaps potentially gambling, particularly those planning a free hit of 15 and looking for a third United asset. Looked like they may have gambled on Dwight York. He doesn't start. Andy Cole is in the United team, and there's also a place at right back for Phil Neville, otherwise unchanged and very much what you would expect. It's Barthez, Phil Neville, Blanc, Gary Neville, Silvestre, Beckham, Veron, Keane, Giggs, Cole, Van Nistelrooy. On the bench, Roy Carroll, York, Irwin, Wes Brown and Paul Scholes. They host Everton today. We'll need to do without Abel Xavier for the next couple of weeks. He's replaced by David Unsworth in, I think, the formation many of us would have expected here from Everton, very much known as the 5-3-1-1 swirl. Unsworth takes his place as the left-sided centre-back. Gary Naismith can push on right up the left-hand side of the pitch for Everton. The other change sees Alex Anderson come in for Scott Gemmell. Everton are Gerrard, flat back 5 of Watson, Stubbs, Weir, Unsworth, Naismith encouraged to push on. The midfield 3 all have to tuck into holding midfield roles. Alex Anderson from the right, Gravison and Pembridge from centrally. Radzinski plays in the 10 position to support Duncan Ferguson. On the bench for Everton, Simonson, Campbell, O'Hanlon, Clark and Gemmell. And finally to the Stadium of Light. One change for Sunderland in the forever saga of who will partner Emerson Tome between Stanislav Varga and Jody Craddock. This week it's George McCartney. Neither of them play, so McCartney plays centre half. Sunderland are Sorensen, Mills at right back, McCartney, Tome centre half, Michael Gray left back. Midfield 4 remains unchanged. Till, McCann, Schwartz, Williams, Deslandis and Phillips up front. Really interested to see the potential transfers in of Kevin Phillips this week. Not so sure he'll be quite a differential everyone thinks he may be. I think there's been quite an undercurrent of a gamble, and I'm interested to see this coming up shortly. On the bench for Sunderland, both Craddock and Varga, along with Michael Reddy, Nicholas Medina, subkeeper Jamie Ashdown. West Ham be looking to build on their first league win against Liverpool last week under Alex McLeish. Obviously they lost to Everton in the League Cup in midweek. There were 2 changes to the league lineup that beat Liverpool. No place for Breckin, and Courtois is also out injured for around about 3 weeks. Steve Potts comes in for a rare start at centre half, and Paolo Di Canio is back from his ban. Means Titi Camara plays left midfield. West Ham are David James, Rigobert Song, Potts, Repka, Scott Minso, Sinclair, Hutchison, Cole, Kamara on the left, Di Canio and Canute up front. On the bench for West Ham, Shaka Hislop, Hayden Fox, Paul Kitson, Jermaine Defoe, and Jermaine Genus, bought from Nottingham Forest for £120,000 in midweek. He is priced up in the game as a 4.5 million midfielder. There is all your team news. We are around about 2 minutes to kick off. And I can, just before we get onto that, take you through some of the ownership numbers. Bear with me a moment. Okay, top transfers in and out. Ruud van Nistelrooy most bought 282, not a surprise. Alan Johnson 136. Dean Gordon 86 new owners. Alan Boksic 82 new owners. Veron and Beckham similar numbers, 69, 68 new owners respectively. Thierry Henry has 63 new owners. Stefan Selakovic, Mikel Silvestre and Kevin Phillips make up the top 10 with 52 new owners. So Phillips has gained an extra 4% in ownership. Van Nistelrooy has gained 21% ownership. Most sold. Alan Shearer has lost 361 owners. 26% of his owners have got rid. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank sold by 90. Robert Perez 83. Carnu 70. Ashley Cole interestingly 67. James Scowcroft has lost 50 owners. Brave. I think that's a case of swinging with the fixtures, and I can understand it. Christian Mercedes lost 44, but just in spite of that interesting stat I said about the amount of key passes he's having. John Honoris has also lost 44. Ian Hart's lost 43 owners. Imu plays at centre half for Arsenal's lost 34. Good. I tend to go through on a Saturday all the Champman FPL hashtags and like people's teams, but I always check to see if he's in it. And if he's in it, I don't like the team, so get him out. Lewis Barnwatt has lost 33 owners, and Thomas Gravison has lost 26 owners. Ownership now, in terms of captaincy, this game week, there's a clear favoured captain, as we might have expected. 57% overall have captained Ruud van Nistelrooy. 71% of the top 300 have captained him. Second most captained overall is Veron, and 9% in the top 300, with 6% overall ownership, 9% top 300. Mark Viduka also scored earlier, 6% overall captaincy, 8% of the top 300. And then there are some differential captaincies knocking about. Robbie Fowler, Rebroff, Phillips, Stefan Selakovic, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Corrado Grabby, and Thierry Henry. Interestingly, Thierry Henry captained by 1% of the top 300, by 8% overall. And on ownership, Van Nistelrooy's ownership back up to 76%, 86% in the top 300. Lord Staunton, 53% overall owned, 59% of those in the top 300. We have kicked off, by the way. You'll see the clock is now ticking. Alan Johnson, the only other player in the top 300 owned by more than 50%, is the third most owned. Dean Gordon, David Seaman, Maurizio Tirico, Dean Sturridge, Ashley Cole, James Scowcroft, all owned in the 40% in the top 300, but none of them above 33% overall. And the other noticeable one is Herman Hreidarsson has 21% overall ownership, 39% in the top 300. Now makes him the 10th most owned player in the top 300. That's all your information. You'll see your top 5 transfers in and out will go round on the screen today. We have our first goal of the day. It's come at Ewood Park. Jason McAteer is the goal scorer for Blackburn Rovers. An assist goes to Matt Jansen. Blackburn lead Derby by a goal to nil. Jason McAteer the goal scorer. Matt Jansen the assist. For anybody who saw my tweet earlier, by the way, I had a lot of requests not to mention Bundesliga scores. I'm aware that some of you may well be listening to me right now while watching Dortmund and Schalke somewhere else. I'm not going to mention any of the Bundesliga scores. I'd recommend, if we can we not mention them in the chat. A lot of people are missing football terribly, but didn't want to miss this and do want to watch the football later, so have taped it. So if we can, please try and remember not to put any information on the Bundesliga in the chat. Right, cool. So we've already got an early goal at Ewood Park. Blackburn lead Derby, timed a minute in. Quickest goal of the season, say the official account. Matt Jansen brings the ball forward from kick-off, plays a lovely ball into the box towards McAteer and swivels on the ball before firing a vicious shot into the top corner. Perfect start for Rovers. Oh, nice one. Right. So, here's what I did this week. Very much what I said to you in midweek that I would do. My plan was to get rid of Shearer and Kanu, and the fact that they both got injured made it an absolute no-brainer. Van Nistelrooy back in for me as captain, and then the only other choice was between Phillips and Redroth, and I went for Danny Sain. I'm never going to let it go. I'm telling you right now, mate. I'm never going to let it go. I went for Phillips over Redroth. Very difficult choice between the two, but it was more a case of leaving me the £1 million in the bank allows me to get towards third Manchester United and third Middlesbrough players in the lead up to their double game week 17. Obviously, the fact that Liverpool now play in double game week 16 twice is a real benefit for me. It's a bonus having got 3 Liverpool players in, although obviously suffered for it last week. I dropped quite significantly and ranked to around about, I think I joined 142nd, I think, overall. But in quite a strong position for the doubles that come 16-17. My intention, as I've said previously, is to free hit in game week 15. That's my plan. We'll certainly talk some plans for that, I think, on Monday evening's Planet FPL podcast. Suj was in a mess today, phoned me about 11:15 with about 6 players out. And I was like, yeah, just take some hits. He's like, I don't want to take hits. And then I realised when I got off the phone to him that the deadline had long gone anyway. So I don't really know what he's done. He had about 6 or 7 players out. Alright, I'll get myself into the chat with you guys while we wait for these goals to pour in. Just one final thing. On the fixture ticker, we've put up what we know as confirmed. So obviously we know Leeds blanks. You'll just see a dash for their 15-16. We put Liverpool and Fulham's 15 double game week up, and we've put Charlton's double game week up for 15 as well, to go with Blackburn, Leicester, Aston Villa and Southampton. We haven't put the ones up that are to be determined. It's fairly straightforward in terms of what happens next. I mean, essentially, if Leeds beat Chelsea, Sunderland's and Chelsea and Tottenham and Everton will all double, and Bolton and Middlesbrough will also double if is it Manchester United beat Middlesbrough, isn't it? I think that's the case. Yeah, it's if Manchester United beat Middlesbrough. So if United beat Middlesbrough, Bolton and Middlesbrough's a double. If Leeds beat Chelsea, Southampton and Sunderland and Chelsea and Tottenham and Everton will all double as well. So quite possible we will have 11 teams doubling. but it's possible we'll only have 5. We should find out, I guess, on the boys' 9:30 p.m. stream tomorrow night, which, as per usual, will be an absolute must. I see our hero from Wednesday, Gary Smith, is in the chat. Hey Gary, can you confirm for all the chat players what day it is, mate? That's all we want to know from you. What day is it? Pet Talk says, what did you make of the big win for Leeds earlier, James? Unsurprising. To be honest, it's one of the best sides in terms of... I'll cut in there because there's been a goal at Anfield. Liverpool are ahead. It's an own goal. Matt Elliott with an own goal. Assist goes to Vegard Hegem. Liverpool lead Leicester. Matt Elliott's own goal. Vegard Hegem with the assist, who seems to keep providing them, particularly in home games when he does start. Yet no surprise with the Leeds result at all. Even without Hart and Kelly, you've got one of the best home teams against one of the weakest teams. So it's always something that can happen and is liable in that sort of game. Charlton's 4-4-2 setup always opens up the possibility for them to take a hiding. We've seen in other games recently the high-scoring fixture at Southampton, even the 3-1 win at West Ham. They were very lucky. So we've seen in away games recently with Charlton that they're capable of taking a slapping. So no surprise at all, but I think it was one with Leeds blanking in 15-16. There's just no reason to attack it unless you were going to go in and captain Mark Viduka. Talking of captain, for the majority of you, yours has just scored. Ruud van Nistelrooy has given Manchester United the lead, and assist goes to Ryan Giggs. United lead Everton 1-0, 7 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Ruud van Nistelrooy, the goal scorer, Ryan Giggs with the assist. So, pressure very much on for Veron owners, I would suggest. As Viduka, Van Nistelrooy and Veron were the only 3 with more than 2% captaincy in the top 300. Obviously, Viduka, like in terms of saying get away with it, it was only a 6-point return twice for 12. I mean, Van Nistelrooy, because of the ratings he gets, is almost, 1 goal is going to get him in the bonus most weeks, it looks like. So he'll probably top that total of Viduka. So pressure on those who've gone for the differential of Veron. Information on the own goal scored by Matt Elliott at Anfield. Calamitous own goal by Matt Elliott. Barnby puts the ball into the box and Hegem flicks it on. Elliott tries to head it behind, but instead puts it straight past Ian Walker. A shocking mistake. We know that Leicester don't score till the 90th minute anyway. FPL Blades in the chat says, has Jules scored yet? No, mate. This is going to be a running joke. You're becoming one. Gary Smith says, I messed up, James. Got the right day and screwed my team, deleting Dyer from my team. What have you done, Gary? Richard Skeens in the chat, a friend of the show, says, afternoon, hello, mate. Brian Newell is never the right Liverpool defender beginning with H who assists. No. Our friend Tomo, our Sheffield United correspondent, FPL Blade, wishes a good morning and afternoon to everyone as well. Cal at 3:07 p.m. says differential captain deemed pointless already. Great, lol. Not yet, mate. News of a substitution at Portman Road. Ipswich very much on top here. An early blow now for Southampton. Wayne Bridge has hurt his knee and is walking off now, being replaced by Jason Dodd. I would have thought that probably means Petrescu to left back, Dodd at centre half and Delap at right back, based on things that have happened in previous weeks, but any combination of that could be right. The chat hardly blew up with happy Van Nistelrooy people, just because he's so well owned and captain. People just go, oh, alright, kind of expected that anyway. Justine says, lovely job, Ruud. Brad Lewington, love it, Ruud. Scala, no Ruud Van Nistelrooy could get ugly. You're right, it could. Mark Dorney, afternoon chaps. Brian Newell, bugger, going without Ruud Van Nistelrooy takes 7 minutes to fail. Pep Talk says, this game week already better than in midweek, 1 attack in return. I'll go with that one. United have a second. Andy Cole in for Dwight York has scored. Andy Cole has put Manchester United 2-0 up. There is no assister on that goal. 10 minutes in at Old Trafford. United lead 2-0. And what's really interesting, I think, about the fact that they've got that early 2-0 lead is obviously Everton go in very, very defensive, and just a little bit like real life. When you play against these sort of teams, you've got to get the early goal. United have basically got the game in the bag with 80 minutes to go. Do Everton come out, or do they just go for damage limitation? If they go to damage limitation, then you might not see many more. If they open up, then United could well do some real damage here. FPL Blade says, get Gary a calendar. Yeah, perhaps we could do a GoFundMe to get Gary Smith a calendar. Will Cantrell changed my captain for Duca, but wish I kept Ruud van Nistelrooy as captain. John Jacobson, Ruud captain is getting boring now. Yeah, well, we need someone to influence that, don't we? Otherwise, you've got to go with it, it feels like. Liverpool have a second. Daniel Sjoland is the scorer, and Vegard Hegem has another assist. God, you wish he was more nailed. You'd get him in. 2 assists for Hegem. Sjoland, the scorer of Liverpool's second as well. They are 2 up against Leicester. 11 minutes in. I think something's coming for Liverpool. Can't be sitting at sort of 12th in the league for very long. I mean, as it would stand, they're actually already up to 7th, although dependent very much on other results. But we know from the masses of data that we've seen provided in pre-season that Liverpool at worst should finish sort of top 5, if not top 4, and in many cases have finished second, third. So I think it's coming for Liverpool, and I think obviously many will target with that double game week 16. 2 home fixtures, Derby and Fulham, 2 ropey sides defensively. That's going to be the big attack. From my perspective, quite pleased. As long as my 3 stay fit, I can make the moves elsewhere. Information on the Andy Cole goal. United race into a 2-goal lead. Van Nistelrooy is so close to a second goal in 3 minutes, but Gerrard saves his shot well. Unfortunately for the Everton keeper, Andy Cole is on hand to tap the rebound home. Mikel Silvestre has been booked for Manchester United. I didn't say my team, did I? Sjoland grabs his first league goal for the club at Anfield. Brilliant by Hegem, who advances down the flank and then picks out Sjoland, who hits a fierce shot past Ian Walker. Liverpool bouncing back from their West Ham shambles. I am lined up today, personally, with David Seaman in goal in place of, or not in place, but over Mark Crossley, should we say. Both with home fixtures, just gone with a higher probability of a clean sheet for Arsenal is how I've deemed that. Although I wouldn't be surprised if both kept a clean sheet, actually. I am back free of Hyypiä, Hreidarsson and Silvestre, who's just gone in the book for United. Goal at Portman Road, I'll cut in. Goal scorer is Matt Holland. And the 10th most owned, Herman Hreidarsson, has the assist, an attacking return, to go with the bonus point magnet that he is. Herman Hreidarsson could well be a double pointer here should Ipswich keep a clean sheet for the Icelander. Ipswich have the lead against Saints. Matt Holland, the goal scorer, assist to Herman Hreidarsson. I am midfield 4 of Kumas, Gerrard, Gus Poyet, who obviously plays against Chelsea in the 530s, and Alan Johnson of Middlesbrough. I am front 3 of Kevin Phillips, Robbie Fowler and captain Ruud van Nistelrooy. Luke Disables in the chat says Hegem great for assists in key attributes, just needed the games. What's the chance of him holding on to it though, Luke? Because he's the sort of one, if you haven't got Liverpool defensive coverage and you want some for game week 16, he's probably top pick. But is he going to play twice? That's what will be keeping people's fear, I think. But is the one game still okay? Is he a longer term? As long as you've got the bench that can cover it, that's a decision people will have to make, I think. Ipswich get the goal the early pressure deserves, and it's a beauty. Herman Hreidarsson puts a slightly hopeful looking ball into the box, but Matt Holland connects beautifully to volley past Paul Jones. Excellent technique. You've been kind of waiting for a big Matt Holland return this season, actually. It just feels like it hasn't really been there, and the price at 7.5 hasn't really been justifiable when you've got the cheaper assets there of sort of Jason Kumas, Finidi George playing OOP. Excuse me. Clean sheet wipeout, says having Tarico over Herman is starting to hurt. And I wasn't joking. Clean sheet wipeout for Arsenal. They are behind at Craven Cottage. Goal scorer is Steve Marley. Mark Corrigan with the assist for Fulham. They lead Arsenal 15 minutes in. Marley the goal scorer. Corrigan with the assist. Interesting. Gary Smith responding to his earlier replacement of saying not even replaced, just deleted. I'm really worried about you, Gary. I haven't seen you on Twitter, but you can dive into my DMs. I feel a little bit like I want to set up a support group for you or something, mate. Nice Godfrey, can't believe I picked Bramble over the Icelander. Scala, nice one. Herman Horizon, that's probably man of the match. Wrapped up. Not necessarily. Long way to go. Christoph, Sam, I got Titus in a couple of weeks ago instead of Herman. Information on that Marley goal. Quiet start to the game, but Fulham lead with the first meaningful chance of the afternoon. Corrigan puts in a cross and Marley beats Perez, who was tracking him back to put the ball in, and he heads home. On going Horiderson over Bramble and Tarico particularly, he could have considered Clapham, but I think it was really those three. My thinking was always the unpredictability in attacking returns and really solid home fixtures, and to think that I'll take the baseline is stronger of Horiderson, and if the others aren't getting the attacking returns, he can probably just about outscore them. That's how it looked in midweek. Obviously, he's now got the attacking return this week, so yeah, that particular one is on to a winner, but it's a very long way to go in that particular fixture. Alan Daddy starting Serrani over Seaman, working well. Yeah, I think that's an easier call with Ipswich's fixtures, particularly if you didn't have any of the others defensively, rather than my Seaman and Crossley both away. It just had a little bit more, obviously, in my opinion, Fulham better going forward than Villa, but Arsenal stronger defensively than Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough always seem to concede one. That's how it feels quite regularly with them. FPL Badger, Norwich correspondent in the chat. I had double Arsenal defence too, Rory. Bastard. Andy G, the Golf Pro, shitting hell, double Gooners clean sheet, gone early. Philium 2, ha, there goes a cleanie for two defenders. FPL Hitman, I got Veron in this week, watching blank. There is 17 minutes gone. Rory Cartwright says, sorry lads, cursed. Would have been nice for Collins to be involved at least. Pep Talk quite pleased, Lauren isn't playing now. Svensson off the bench could be better now. Will Cantrell, if you can't choose between Herman and Titus, then choose both. Yeah, that's not a bad thought, mate. FPL Hitman is suggesting, Gary Smith, that you join Calendars Anonymous. Christoph Sam, yeah, James, I think you're spot on with that. I presume that's the analysis of the Ipswich players. Brian Yule, Bahars will strike back. I have faith. He scored last week. That's his one of the season, mate. Pep Talk, all home goals so far today. Things are back to normal. Yes, that's very, very true. All 7 goals in the 3 p.m. so far, all for home teams. It's been a very bright start, hasn't it, actually? Rory Cartwright saying at least the Arsenal clean sheet went early. Mark Dorney captain Veron instead of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Listen, that can still win. Look at the late goals for Veron against Bolton a couple of weeks ago. Vinyl Richie's got triple Ipswich defence, but no Horiderson. That's very interesting. Gary Smith, I don't really use Twitter. How do I message you, James? Do you have the power to revert You're a superstar. So if you look in the top left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see at Planet FPL Pod. That's my Twitter handle, mate. You can get on Twitter and at me. Just get in my DMs and I'll know it's you, mate. Unless you've got some weird name, I don't know, like something Wilson 24315 or some shit like that. Not there to some friends. 2 tractors at the back here for Ian Parrin. B Conway says, does Boa Morte still exist? Ian McAllister, who scored assisted for Fulham? So it was Marley with a goal, Corrigan with the assist. If you keep an eye, I presume Mr. or Mrs. Conway, you keep your eye on the bottom ticker that's going from right to left. Yeah, that one. That's shit. Like right idiot there, didn't I? It will catch you up with all the goals and assisters if you're joining in the chat later. Equaliser for Derby at Blackburn. Daryl Powell, the goal scorer. Fabrizio Ravanelli with the assist. Just why I mentioned that, was there assist, Chris, FPL captain? Was there an assist on the Blackburn goal earlier? Because I noticed that's not on the ticker at the moment. Yeah, Matt Jansen, to clarify, was the assister for Blackburn's first goal. So Del Powell back from a ban has equalised for Derby at Blackburn. Assist goes to Fabrizio Ravanelli, who has another attack in return to go with the 2 that he got at Southampton last week. I'll be honest, I don't even know what price Ravanelli is. Was he 6.5 or something? I couldn't tell you. Derby be so far off my radar, honestly. Shamil Galani's in the chat, says no 20,000 viewers again, disappointed. Well, you know it will spike about 10 minutes before half time, don't you? What it's worth saying is, if we want madness like that again, you see the little thumb thing, right? Click the thumb. Lots of you together, click the thumb. And you never know, we might get YouTube raided again. Suj told me I had to say that. James, why don't you go on and ask people to like your videos? It's because, Suj, I trust the people to just like it themselves. But yeah, hit the thumbs up. And you know, if you think it's shit, hit the thumbs down. You know, any publicity is good publicity as far as I'm concerned. Powell scores from the unlikeliest of angles to equalise for Derby. Ravanelli's low cross is way over hit and goes straight through the box. Powell has space but nothing on, so he attempts a speculative shot and it brilliantly beats Poom. Top finish if he meant it. Oh, them likes went up. Well done, FPL captain. Yeah, just you know me, I don't normally take any notice, but I happened to see that one. Goal at Anfield from God, so they call him. Robbie Fowler is the goal scorer for Liverpool. He has put Liverpool 3-0 up against Leicester 22 minutes in. Vegard Hegem not providing an attack in return this time. Suj Shah's in the chat. Oh, get your drinks down. For anyone playing Corf's drinking game, Suj says don't hit the thumbs down for fuck's sake. Don't worry about it, Suj. Yeah, delete the thumbs down shit. Robbie Fowler's put Liverpool 3-0 up. There was no assister on that goal. See how we managed to get Suj in the chat there. Class. So, yeah, Robbie Fowler with the goal. Pleased, obviously, for me as someone who suffered with all that Liverpool ownership last week to hopefully have something incoming this week. Robbie Fowler with the goal. I think he'll be very much in demand for game week 16 potentially. Liverpool on a roll here and a smash in Leicester. Barmby involved again, crossing for Gerrard, who sees his fine header saved by Ian Walker. The ball comes back to Robbie Fowler though, and he drives a perfect finish past the keeper. Gerrard assist would have been good too. Andy G, the golf pro, in God we trust. Cal says Robbie. Scarlett says Fowler is alive. Heskybo's happily with yes Fowler. FPL Jordan, only one. Robbie Fowler. Joe Finley Batter, Captain God. Get in. FPL Badger, yes Fowler. Pep Talk, Robbie Fowler, get in. Gary Smith, I think Dyer has a gambling problem. Gary, you're either on the biggest wind-up of all time, or you're one hell of a dude, mate. Nurse Shakhtar ruined the Viduka differential. FPL Hitman, I just want to see the 20,000 spike again. There is a substitution at the Reebok to tell you about. And Newcastle's injury woes continue. Nikos Dabizas comes off badly in a 50-50 and he can't continue. He walks off glumly with Gary Speed coming on in his place. I guess that would mean Robbie Elliott to centre half and Bernard back to left midfield, I would have thought. FBL Hitman says, I just want to see the 20,000 spike again. The interesting thing for me is, as well, I can see how many people have now liked the video. I can't see how many people have disliked the video. There is a way, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to fuck up the feed. Speedy Reedy's in. Stress Suj out. Get the thumbs even. Andrew Martin. Not a bad start for my zombies with Viduka captain and Fowler. Rio Mills. John Jacobson. X the live chat. And you will see it. You make sure you're live. Yeah, streams on a delay. All that stuff. Make sure you're live. Pete Squires, Walker and Flowers playing the hokey cokey. Who is third choice? Surely on for a game now. Yeah, it could be. Jessica Pies in the chat says, I'd really like Corrado to pop up once again. Whatever happens, I've got the spare funds for Boxic next week. Yep. Lots running through. Going to go with Middlesbrough assets, with them having doubles in 15 and 17, certainly. Suj in the chat, by the way, did you manage to fix anything with your team past the deadline? And I'm not daddy. Newcastle to go down? Question. Can't see that. Can't see that. Gary Robinson, our United correspondent, is my cap playing Robbie Elliott, game week 37, triple captain in 97 superstar. I feel like I've got to see how many dislikes this video's got now. Such be going mad. Ever the fucking businessman. Ah, that's alright, Such. What are you crying about? Well done, guys. Nice one. James Pompey Uganda says, finally Robbie. Gary Smith is looking for where's the thumbs up. Right, Gary, if you're watching on YouTube, which if you're not watching on YouTube, I don't really know where you're watching, but you could be the man that got me 20,000 viewers on Wednesday night. Basically, there's a like a thumbs up and there's a thumbs down. So maybe if you're enjoying yourself, click the one that's got the thumbs up. Yeah, sweet. Shamil, it's only one dislike, not bad. Only one bell end around in that case. It's loads of bell ends on YouTube, mate. You want to go on Twitter, there's loads more there. Great save at Ewood Park. Graham Lasso knocks the ball down for Alan Mahon and he looks odds on score, but Mark Poom somehow keeps it out with a fantastic save. Carbonari has just gone in the book for pulling back the lively Janssen. Sounds like Janssen, who's already got the assist there today, could well be in the bonus points. Skylar says, the thumbs down was Gary. He could not find the thumbs up. Gary Shepherd, you well know that is not getting covered. FPL Hitman, 2 dislikes. Got to be Suj and Manchild. Yeah, probably. Ed Cannon's in the chat. Nice one, mate. Ed Cannon, really, really one of the best tweets I saw this week was a tweet that you'd sent in response to the quiz we'd done where you got your friends involved over Zoom and then had the quiz on the TV from Wednesday. Brilliant. Absolutely loved that. And a good suggestion from Ed in terms of next quiz we might do Wednesday, which I'm going to think about. Steve-O's in the chat. Mark Corrigan question, haha, that's the main character in Peep Show. Is it, mate? I was out on the juice when that kind of thing was on the telly. Andrew Martin is begging no Bundesliga chat. Yeah, we've said lots of the guys in the chat who are taping the Dortmund Schalke game and perhaps other Bundesliga games, who obviously have really, really missed football and are taping the game but didn't want to miss out on the stream. So please, there's no need to be mentioning what's going on in fucking Germany in this chat. So try and keep it out if you can, guys. Let's all watch the game afterwards. I can tell you that Dortmund are 6-2 up though. Nice Godfrey, did you guys make a fantasy team? What, for this? Yeah, for the Bundesliga, no, I've got zero interest. I'm going to find it hard enough being entertained by Premier League football behind closed doors. Never mind other leagues. No, you're good. I'm playing this game. That's enough for me. John Yeckelson, no, I'll cut in there. Goal, Old Trafford. Veron owners. You have an assist. David Beckham owners. You have a goal. Goal, Beckham, assist, Juan Sebastian Veron. United lead Everton 3-0, 29 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Beckham with United's third, Veron with the assist. That means they've all returned, doesn't it, I think? Giggs get an assist earlier as well, did he? Did he assist Van Nistelrooy? Yes, he did. So, one attacking return each for Van Nistelrooy, Veron, Beckham, Giggs and Cole. The 5 most attacking players, if you exclude Roy Keane, who interestingly I notice is on 4 yellow cards as well, Roy Keane. Yeah, Speedy, yeah, I'm sorry about the kid-friendly stuff. It just came out. I didn't mean to do that. I do try and be a bit friendlier on a Saturday afternoon. I know some people watch this with their kids. Sorry about that. It's like we was thinking. So there's a few people I've said, oh, you're on after the watershed for the 24-hour stream next week. And then I'm thinking about it and I'm like, well, depending on where people are in the world, it's not necessarily, is it? So, I mean, if you're in the USA at the moment, it's like morning. And even the Wednesday night streams is afternoon. And then in Australia, it's like morning. So, yeah, I can't win for everyone. Everton at risk of being blown away now. It's so easy for United. A lovely team move ends with Varane laying the ball off to Beckham, who has plenty of time to pick his spot and beat Gerrard. Thomas Gravesen, one of the most sold this game week, has been booked as well. Sean Murphy swapped Beckham to Varane. Shakhtar says, going to be the week I break the top 100. Brian Neal says it's a bit early for a Varane return. Heskebo is happy with the Varane assist. I think Rion and John Jakobsen are having their own chat about job hunting, which is absolutely fine. Good luck if you're looking for jobs, anyone out there. Graham Sean Everton standard capitulation at Old Trafford. Good to see the sim ain't as broken as we thought. KG_007 going no Man United is becoming suicidal. Actually, at the moment, no. Because everybody is only on for one return. And if that's the case, that's not too bad. And when I say everyone, I mean, obviously, if United don't concede, it's worth saying that, yes, everybody in that team that started, other than Roy Keane, would be on for a return if Everton don't score, as it stands. Goal at the Stadium of Light. And that big gamble for Kevin Phillips hasn't returned yet. Lilian Leslanders is the goal scorer for Sunderland. George McCartney with the assist. They lead West Ham United by 1-0. And for those saying, you teased this on Phillips, I've got Phillips as well. So, welcome to my world. It's all good. Angie Martin said, I just couldn't get motivated to make a Bundesliga fantasy team, especially midway through the season. Looking forward to an elite Syrian starting. I'll be muting all them words, Andy. Bundesliga, elite Syrian. I know our friend Heskebo and a few others playing like Faroe Islands fantasy. That's extreme shit. But yeah, good luck with that. Will Cantrell, Middlesbrough quiet. We've had no updates from Villa Park yet, have we? That's the only game we've not had any update from as yet. Obviously in the Bolton game we know... on cue, Middlesbrough scored. Goal scorer for Middlesbrough is Ugo Egiog. And the assist goes to assist machine. No, not that one. Dean Gordon. Ugo Egiog with the goal for Middlesbrough. Dean Gordon with the assist. Obviously Egiog scoring against his former club there. Egiog the scorer. Dean Gordon with the assist. Yes, John. I see ya. Thanks, Badger. It's more of this coming, mate. I can't help it. Paul Ronner says, fuck's sake, give me a heart attack. Speedy Reedy says, yeah, it's all FPL and CM FPL for me. None of these European leagues or fake FPL. Listen, it's all good. If you're playing any fantasy games, you're doing anything that, is keeping you occupied, enjoying yourself, it's all good. Like, crack on. It's just me personally. I'm happy with this as a sideshow at the moment. Although it's more than a sideshow, isn't it? It's become the show. On the Sunderland goal at the Stadium of Light, Joe Cole picks up a yellow for fouling McCartney, and the Northern Irishman thinks fast to take a quick free kick to Leslanders. He reaches it ahead of David James and finishes tidily. Ali Jafar, Boxic, anything? Not yet, mate. Graham Sheldon, I think it's a fair comment. Gordon Owen has been unlucky lately, to be fair. Yeah, I wouldn't argue that at all, actually. Gary Shepherd, yes, Flash. Rhea Mills, God, and my boy. FB Lucky, FBO Lucker. I've had the pleasure of meeting you. And so it does not surprise me that you get caught out by my wind-ups every single time. Borough have been the brighter team at Villa Park, and they now lead. Egiog gets on the end of Dean Gordon's corner to head past Peter Schmeichel. It's probably the most straightforward commentary I've ever seen the guys tweet out. Ed Cannon sold Elliott own goal for Gordon assist. Get in. Gary Smith has found me on Twitter. He sent me a message. Diaquip Vegas wants back in. What? Here we go. Gary's messaged us. Hello Gary, how are you, pal? He says, hi James, already following you. Damn straight, mate. Sorry about the cock up. Was looking at players on the team page, deleting Dyer. What an idiot. Hoping you or the guys can stick him back in. Well, that's one for Andy, the other James and Dave. I've no running in the game, I'm afraid, mate, so I can't help you with that. But yeah, cool. Nice of you to DM me. Class stuff. Goal at Old Trafford. And one of the players who has already returned today has returned again. It's Goal King Cole. Andy Cole has his second of the day. Mikel Silvestre has the assist. Already booked, but he's now got the assist. So United lead Everton 4-0. 36 minutes gone at Old Trafford. United lead 4-0. Wow. Boom tang. Have some of that, eh? Coach is in. James, thoughts on Carboni? Where does he fit in? I think central midfield. And I think it's an avoid till you got the information. Obviously, it'd be really interesting at 4:30, which is just over an hour or so away, to see how Chelsea line up at Spurs in the 5:30 kickoff. I would expect, just on that, Spurs, I think Selakovic will be back in central midfield, and I think Everson will be back in the team. And I think that's the one change I would expect from Spurs. Dean Richards could be back in the team as well. But that's all I'm expecting. I think Selakovic will be back central midfield, and I think it'll be more like a 3-4-1-2 commonly. I could be wrong. That's my instinct. Aritravo says, I'm currently on Champman FPL, Virtual FPL, FM FPL, Bundesliga FPL. Yeah. I mean, me commonly, I'm FPL on Sky. That's me and my doing. That's where I'm at. Stephen Hammond, thank God Sereni is back, or I'd be stuck with Gerrard in goals. FPL coach, Silvestre captain. Nice. Pep Talk, United to shut down for the second half and consolidate? Question. It's quite possible. Quite possible. They've obviously got League Cup tie in a week, but we do obviously expect them to rotate. Les Landes has another for Sunderland. We all went for the wrong player. Les Landes has got another for Sunderland. But Kevin Phillips does have the assist. Sunderland lead 2-0 against West Ham. Les Landes has his second. Kevin Phillips has the assist. Nice. Better week incoming for me, I think. Brian Yule, why didn't Man United do this when I had triple attack? Because the world revolves around you, Brian, and it was waiting for you to come off. Rion Mills, anyone got Everton defender starting? No, Alan Stubbs was rooted as my last sub, mate. Yeah, I would be interested if anyone has got any Everton players starting today. I'd love to hear it. Jessica Pye, great. I've sold Beckham and Silvestre in the last 3 weeks. That's going to hurt a little bit. Scala says, nice Silvestre. Most returns for me first half of the season. Information on the second Les Landes goal at Sunderland. Gary Till puts a heavy cross into the 6-yard box. Phillips does well to keep it alive. And Les Landes gets up high to power a header past David James. You can feel the relief around the stadium. Alright, we're already winning. John Jacobson says West Ham being back to absolute crap. Yeah, of course. A clean sheet wipeout says, will Cole keep his place now? Could be a brilliant differential. Yeah, but which one? Andy, Ashley, Joe. I presume you mean Andy. Possibly. But I think they're going to rotate anyway, Cole and York. So, yeah, Cole gets to the place where he becomes a regular starter now. But any week, York will come in for him. That would be my instinct. Mark Dorney says, love Sky FPL. Me too. I've only got one target in that game next year, and that's to win it. Shamil says, look like this sim is like real life. West Ham still shit. Yeah, Sham's a West Ham fan, so he should know better than most of you. Billy Hadaway, how much is Cole? 7 million? Feely M2 says, I need Silvestre back in. yeah, I felt it was worth the extra 0.5 to pay for Silvestre over Blanc. Although I may well be adding Blanc back in game week 16 to that. But I felt it important to just pay the extra for Silvestre in the first instance. Gary Robinson says, I'm only playing this but have already ran fancy Euro 20 fancy Copa America 20 for work mini league. Kushti. Andrew might battle at the bottom going well for Sunderland. McLeish out. Of course, it's the bottom two, isn't it? Is that right? Are they bottom two? Feely M2 wasn't willing to take a -4 for Silvestre and I had to get Rude back in. That's fair enough. You can't have them all, mate. I really wanted Phillips and Rebrov if I could have made it happen. Middlesbrough's clean sheet is gone at Villa Park. Goal scorer for Aston Villa is Paul Merson. The assist goes to Mustafa Hadji. Two of Villa's midfielders combined in there. 41 minutes gone at Villa Park. It's Villa 1 and the boys from the Riverside 1. Scarlett says Kev Awesome saving the goal for second half. Alan Mottaddy says weird that Man United have gone without Cole all this time. Just an unbelievable quirk that Dwight York had no attacking returns. Astonishing. Feely M2 isn't as land as 5 million. Yes, he absolutely is. And he's a brilliant budget player. If I wasn't so convinced that I really needed to be around, i.e. say for me carrying Fowler, I know he can get injured any day. And it's an easy one to get Rebrov in. Chatman FPL accounts tweeting. Dean Sturridge has scored for Leicester. Andy Impey with the assist. Liverpool's clean sheet gone. Dean Sturridge the goal scorer. Andy Impey with the assist. Although yes, you should have the notifications off. That tweet. Actually, I can't like it. I've got Sammy Ipia. Piss off. Oh dear. So yeah, Liverpool's clean sheet gone. Dean Sturridge the scorer. It's now 3-1 at Anfield. Andy Impey with the assist. There's quite a few I think would have just lost the Middlesbrough and the Liverpool clean sheet. Excuse me, together there. Pep talk. I had more points this week after 5 minutes than I did in the whole game week. I hold that thought because scoreline has been broken at the Reebok as well. Goal scorer is Rodney Wallace. Assist goes to another defender who can quite quietly be sneaking around the bonus points. No, it's not OOP Paul Warhurst. It's Colin Hendry, who has a very high number of tackles in the game. Goal Rod Wallace. Assist Colin Hendry. Bolton lead Newcastle by 1-0 at the Reebok. That is now every home team scored today. Only 5 potential clean sheets remain in the 3 o'clockers for Bolton, Fulham, Ipswich, Manchester United and Sunderland. I wouldn't anticipate many of them holding actually. David Storm, Sturridge, cue the GIF. Yep, they've sent the GIF out. Clean sheet, Wipeout as well is in the chat again. It says 16 goals already and we're not even half time. I have loads of goals to update you on, so I'll take you through them now. Firstly, that Sturridge goal at Anfield. If Leicester were going to have any chance, you felt they needed something before half time and they've got it. Izzet plays Impey down the flank and he crosses for Sturridge, who finds himself some space and heads past Dudek on the Rod Wallace goal. Classic Big Sam football here by Bolton, depending on what score Big Sam thought you follow. Hendry pumps a long ball long. Well, you've determined it's long ball football. That's the correct thing to do. Hendry pumps the long ball long, eventually drops in the box for Wallace and he hits a hopeful looking shot that beats Given. Eventually drops. What kind of Colin Hendry assist is this? What a strike by Paul Merson at Villa Park. He has the ball in midfield and with very little in the way of options, he decides to unleash a thunderbolt, which absolutely rockets past Mark Crossley. Villa on terms. United have a 5th at Old Trafford. They're going mental. Ruud van Nistelrooy with the goal for United, and the only United player that wasn't on for a return today has got the assist is Roy Keane. If Everton don't score, every single Manchester United player that started this game is going to return unless they are substituted pre-60 minutes. Van Nistelrooy has his second. Roy Keane with the assist. United lead Everton 5-0 going into injury time of the first half. Bang! Yikes. Would not want to be a non... and we've seen it in the chat. There are some people out there who don't have any Manchester United ownership. That's now starting to get a little bit scary. Bolton have doubled their lead at the Reebok. Robert Lee is the goal scorer, and assist to OOP this time, Paul Warhurst. OOP at this stage of his career could have been OAP, to be honest. Rob Lee with a second, Paul Warhurst with the assist. Bolton lead 2-0. I think Scala sums it up for the non-earners. Okay, that's enough now, Rude. Yeah. Billy Adaway, this game week is why it wasn't worth taking out any United last week. Well, I wildcarded and only went back with one with Silvestre, but obviously with a clear plan, as I'd explained in the week, to get Van Nistelrooy back in this week. I've only got the two. I'm not in the best position there. There going to be loads out there with Van Nistelrooy, Veron and Silvestre, or combinations of double defensive. Woodwork's been hit at Ewood Park twice. Grabby hits the post from a half volley from Graham Lassau's corner. The ball rebounds out and sets off a Derby counter. Anyone remember that Watford-Leicester game? Powell advances and sees his shot saved. Johnson is left with a sitter, but it gets under it and hits the bar. On the Rob Lee goal as a penalty, actually. I don't know if I missed the chat on that there in terms of penalty to Derby. I did. Missed that completely. Came up with the Van Nistelrooy goal. So Bolton were given a penalty. Rod Wallace knocked it down into the box towards Warhurst. The ex-Blackburn title winner attacks the ball, but Marcelino takes him out, and Dermot Gallagher points to the spot. Rob Lee took the penalty against his former club, and he has ice in his veins, stepping up and stroking his penalty past Shay Given. Bolton in the driving seat lead 2-0. And on Van Nistelrooy's second and Manchester United's fifth, the United strike force with two apiece now. Roy Keane plays a lovely through ball for Van Nistelrooy, who runs through one-on-one and curls his finish beyond Gerrard. This could be a cricket score if Everton don't shape up fast. My experience of Championship Manager games is that when you batter a side in the first half, there are not normally too many more in the second half. That said, if, like I said, because Everton started very defensively, if they then change, it actually could go that way. So, remains to be seen. Half times, great half of football, breathless. Looks like Man United are going to win today, I guess. Villa, Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Derby, both 1-1. Bolton lead Newcastle 2-0. Fulham lead Arsenal 1-0. Ipswich lead Southampton 1-0. Liverpool lead Leicester 3-1. Manchester United 5 up against Everton, and Sunderland lead West Ham by 2-0. Right, just something I want to do very selfishly at half time, because I am selfish. This time next week, we'll be about 9 hours in, and I don't know what the maths is, but we'll have about, 15 hours to go. Something like that, I think it's about right. What is it now? Coming up to 4 o'clock. Let's say we'll be 10 hours in with 14 hours to go during our 24-hour live stream. What's going to be happening in the next week or so is that we're going to be setting up a GoFundMe page so people can donate, and we're obviously raising money for charities related to NHS. I think rather than just one, we're probably going to split it over a couple. We haven't decided yet 100%, but it certainly will be NHS related charities. That is a certainty. We are, for those who are like, what am I talking about? We are doing a 24-hour live stream starting at 6 a.m. next Saturday morning till 6 a.m. next Sunday morning. I'm going to take you through some of the guests that we've got on and some of their time slots, because I think you guys will want to know it in terms of what time they're going to be on next week. We've got games planned. We've got mad stuff like me and Suj playing Articulate in the middle of the night pissed, which could be fun. We've got some brilliant guests on. The one thing as a notable for those on this stream, I don't know how people normally join in, but I think for many people they'll probably get the notification that the YouTube video is live and then join in. This is going to run off as a whole 24-hour stream, so you're not going to... The notification you get if you're in the UK is going to be at 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you're thinking, where's the video next week? Obviously, in the morning, I will pin the link to my tweets. It will be there as a pinned link for the whole 24-hour stream during the day. So what I did yesterday on my Ask James stream, thank you for those who joined in on that, I announced all 22 guests that are coming on. What I want to do now is announce some of the times that some people are coming on, and specifically those who have either been in this chat over time or are related to our game. So there's 22 guests in total. I'm going to take you through around about 12 of them now in terms of their time slots, because I think probably the most interesting ones for yourselves. So many of you would have bought the Beer Nuts care package that Beer Nuts have been doing online. That's where these bad boys have come from. Great little gigs. That's perfect timing to open another one, actually. And Stefan White, who you can follow at Stefan RW, is going to be the first guest that we'll have on at 7 o'clock in the morning next Saturday morning. Tom Campbell, who often pops up in the chat, many of you will know on Twitter as Utterly TC, did a brilliant quiz for us a couple of weeks ago during our Wednesday quizzes. It was really popular. So we've asked Tom to give it another go. So Tom's coming on at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's going to do a Premier League quiz. And it's going to be related to, all I know is the last 24 years. So what Tom's decided is we're doing a 24-hour show. He's going to do 24 questions, and one question is going to relate to each of the last of the 24 years in the Premier League. FPL Coach, who's in the chat now as well, he's going to be coming on at 9 o'clock in the morning. One of the things I'm really keen to discuss with John, he's a Coventry fan, is what's happening with Coventry at the moment, who are top of League One but don't have a stadium. And obviously we know League Two has been voided. By next Saturday, we're probably going to know what's happening with League One. So we'll talk about... John's very experienced from FPL. He's got a great following on Twitter. So we're going to be talking about a few of those things with John. I see Tom Campbell's in the chat now. Good man, pal. Andy Martin, FPL Tactician, is going to be coming on at 11:30 in the morning. We'll have a little discussion about, obviously, the team news we'll get for whatever the 12:30 kickoff is. We'll be talking some Champ Man with Andy at 11:30 in the morning. But we do a little bit of Leeds as well, because Andy's very much lined up to be our Leeds correspondent. He says now, I'm setting my alarm for 8 a.m. then. That's 3.5 hours to get ready, mate. Our graphics man, FPL Captain, I'm desperate for you guys to meet. So what's going to happen at 5 o'clock next week is essentially we're working now to provide some slightly different graphics for the stream, which will at 2:30 p.m. convert to this, and then at 5 o'clock we'll convert back to something else. And FPL Captain is going to join us immediately after the game week, so I can introduce him to you guys. You can get to know the man behind the graphics a little bit. At 5:30 you'll see Shamil, who's in the chat, 2 Guys 1 Cup, is going to be coming onto the stream. We've decided with Sham we're going to do a little bit in terms of a relation to FPL and gambling, and do a little bit of a kind of a serious period. We'll do a little bit of West Ham as well, because he's a West Ham fan. But I know something Shams, he'll be honest and open about it, is something Shams really, really passionate about, because he would openly say himself he struggled with some gambling issues in the past. So that's going to be quite an important one to tune into. And he's got some tips in terms of how you can kind of stay away from it a bit as well. We've got Simple Goal and James Alaparan are coming on back to back from 8 o'clock. So Dave's coming on at 8 o'clock. James is coming on at 8:30. FPL Badger, who you'll see in the chat, Mark, who's our Norwich correspondent, he's coming on at 9:30. And we're going to have a little bit of fun in terms of talking about away trips, because Mark's someone who's really been around the country following Norwich. So we're going to have a little bit of a chat, a little bit about Norwich and what's happening with Premier League. Obviously, he's potentially affected by relegation. Have a chat about some of our favourite away trips. Got Gary Robinson, who's in the chat. It's our United correspondent. He's coming on at 10:30. And I haven't decided what we're going to do yet with Gary, but I've got some ideas, and it depends on something that happens today, which Gary doesn't know yet, but it's an idea that I've got. The clue I would have on that is in terms of the time that he's coming on. Andy Martin, who obviously has been doing the videos with Luke Disable, brilliant videos on Scout's channel. Andy's coming on at midnight. We'll talk a little bit of Champman, but we're going to do a little focus on England actually. FPL Blade Tomo is stuck with Jason Yule all the time. He's coming on at 3:30 AM. And Alex Waterbaby, who's joint co-manager with Vinyl Richie in the chat. Alex can't normally get in on the Saturdays, but he can on the Wednesdays, I think. He's coming on at 4:30 AM. There are more guests than that. I will be revealing the times and what we're doing with them in the coming days. But yeah, that's part what we're doing. I haven't decided with Tomo's at the bottom there what we're going to chat about R3. I'm sure if I let him, it will just be half hour and Sheffield United. But me and Suj are going to be pissed by it. I'm not going to lie. And Alex is coming on last. He's from New Zealand. We're going to, as I've mentioned previously, is going to be at least 2 1 hour long, I call them phone-in slots, but they're going to be Zoom-in slots basically, where anybody can ask to come in, and it will be up to Suj whether he accepts you or not. And we're going to treat it like a radio phone-in. There's going to be, I think it's going to be 5 AM, and I think it's going to be 6 PM. So after FPL captain Shamil come on. And we might do one around lunchtime as well. We haven't decided yet, where any of you will be able to get in. Hey, I'm da-da-da-da-da. I'm from, what's your question? Next. That's the plan. So, look, it's all for a good cause. As it's closer it's getting, I'm shitting myself about it. As some of you might be able to already tell, there is a ton of planning that's already gone into this. So join us. I obviously don't expect anyone to come for 24 hours, but we'll communicate the full schedule. There'll be regular tweets go out during the day in terms of this is who's on next, etc. It'll be a blast. And Game Week 16 is still happening. At 2:30, I'll be in the chair, and we'll do this as we're doing it now. I don't want to move too much from what the current schedule is. So that's it. That's my ranting. We're targeting £5,000. I don't know if I meant to say that or not, but that's the target, and that's what we're going to try and hit. So let's do it. Gary Robinson. Gary doesn't know yet to do with time I'm on. I'm not dressing in my boxers like Lineker. I wouldn't ask you to dress in your boxers, Lineker, but yes. I don't know what Match of the Day's theme is at 10:30 next week, but I'm very tempted to go head-to-head against it because I fancy it. So it depends what they're talking about. If it's a shit topic, I'm not doing it. If it's a decent topic, we might just try and cover exactly what they cover, and you can then us versus them, see if we're the same. Brian Yule says, so I need to be up at 3 AM to FPL Blade. Yeah. There are more guests than what I've mentioned, but I just wanted to mention the ones that have regularly been in the stream, and obviously providing content for this particular game. The rest will get announced in the coming days. I did announce all the 22 names yesterday on my stream. Sham says, can't wait for the prank call on the phone in. I feel like setting up the "you kicked my dog" clip. And as Billy Hadaway points out as well, it is the Planet FPL derby next Saturday, Tottenham versus West Ham in this game. And Andy, Dave and James have already promised me, I think it's part why Spurs at 5:30 today, which makes it 100%. Spurs will be a 3 o'clock kickoff as well. Vinyl issue, Planet FPL derby surely must get 12:30 or 5:30 started. No, not at all. It's obviously having guests on at other points then as well. So we'll try and do the updates, but it's not going to, for the 12:30 and the 5:30, I'll be very honest, it's not going to be a lot more than, there's been a goal, this is who scored. It's not going to be anything more than that. So if you just come for the Champman FPL, I'm not going to promise you that it's going to be, it's not. You'd be better off following the tweets for the 12:30 and the 5:30, that's the honest truth. But we will mention it in passing. And obviously, we've got Dave and James are coming on a little later in the night to talk some of the details of what's been after the 5:30 and that as well. Joe Jenkins says, do we know the captain percentages? Yep, it's on your screen right now. So the overall is for the overall ownership, top 300 to the right. So Van Nistelrooy, 71% captained in the top 300, 57% overall. Second halves are underway. Let's see if we can get a second half goal as quick as we got one in the first half. Hang on, we've got one. We're headed to Anfield. I don't know anything more than that. Sorry, guys. Are Leicester about to produce another 4-3 away victory? So we've got a goal at Anfield. I don't know anything more than that, but the information is due very, very shortly. It's a Leicester goal. Robbie Savage is the goal scorer and assist goes to Muzzy Izzet. Minute after the break at Anfield. And Leicester are about to produce another mental comeback. Surely not. Not for the third consecutive away game in a row. They can't, can they? Can they score 4 or 3 away from home again? Unbelievable. Scowcroft owner's probably in the chat right now going, that's not Scowcroft. Yeah, I realise that. Biddy Hadaway says, what time are you cracking open the first beer, James? My plan is to crack open the first beer at the same time I do every Saturday, which is 2:30/2:35 p.m. whenever I kick this off. Dangerous. But I intend to drink sort of 4%ers, and then we'll see how we go from there. Yeah. I did want the Hawksmoors, really good beer in the care package that Steph at the Beer Nuts provided. Goal at Craven Cottage. Arsenal have an equaliser. Francis Jeffers is the goal scorer, an assist for Ray Parlour, the old Romford Pele. But he's sold out and they've got different packages now. So I'm probably just going to hold on to the few Hawksmoors I've got left. Start with them. I might finish that other shitty Calypso that I drank last week on Wednesday night because they're properly tame. That's probably a good one to start with. And then we'll take it from there, see where we go. I might calm down for a bit after the stream, but I won't have a beer during the stream. The thing is, once I start, unless I stop, I'll carry on. I normally finish the stream, and because I've got the little one, I tend not to drink anymore. But if the plan is at the moment for me and Suj to be in the office, in the studio together, I just think it will be better, and yeah, we'll adhere to all the social distancing stuff and that. But yeah, in that environment, I'm probably just going to carry on drinking, to be honest. So yeah, by the time sort of Andy comes on at midnight, it's going to be a car crash. I'm not going to pretend any different. Information on the Robbie Savage goal. Leicester really are the team that don't know when to give up. Izzet did well for the first goal, and he is at the centre of things again. He plays in a perfect pass for Savage, who moves in and shoots low and hard into the net on the Jeffers goal. An Arsenal equaliser. They were pushing for it in the first half and they more than deserve it. Boo! Ray Parlour plays the ball for Jeffers in the box and he takes a touch before firing past Van der Sar. Fox in the box. Dimitro Albertini has been booked. Alan Daddy says, I know it's more to do with individual mashups, but I'm having serious doubts tripping up on Liverpool for their doubles. Got some advice for that then, mate? Don't. You got doubts, don't do it. Aritrava says, Jeffers ticking on well, yeah. Andrew Dale, no, I'm not continuing for Spurs v Chelsea this evening. As fun as that may sound for a Spurs 5:30 game, no. Stream will end at normal time today. John Yackerson, plus I've got to go to the game, haven't I? John Yackerson, Alan, I'm not, brother, if with 3 Liverpool 1 or 2 for me. I think he's not bothered, but I've got the premise. Gary Robinson says, next Saturday match of day topic is as follows. James Gary Lineker is joined by Ian Wright and Alan Shearer to select the most memorable showpiece matches of all time in the world's oldest domestic competition. Is that what it is it? You might have to have a look for that. Aritravo, have 8 out of 10 attacking returns from my outfield players. Bloody hell. Kumas hasn't returned yet. Rebroff to go. Arsenal are behind again at Craven Cottage. Steve Marley is the goal scorer for Fulham. Steve Marley's put Fulham back in front at the Cottage. Tottenham Hotspur, I come in for you. Pete Squires, you selling some sponsorship for the 24-hour stream. Plenty of room on that wall behind your head. No, not doing sponsorship. There are some things that you can buy during the stream, which we'll come on to, or the couple of things that you can win, maybe, which we'll come on to during the week. Graham Sean, favourite beer jam. I do like the Brewdogs, but I mean, the Brewdogs are actually, there's a lower percentage than these Sirens, but they hit you, them Brewdogs. So I might drink them next Saturday. Feed him to, I think I'm going to go without Liverpool players for their double game week. Cool. That didn't last long, did it, Arsenal? Marley heads Legwinski's cross goals. Seaman saves it very nicely indeed, but Marley is straight back on the rebound to finish Fulham back in front. Excuse me. Paul Tinkler says, got one United and one Ipswich clean sheet left. Probably better losing them, so many with double those two. Well, I'm in the same position as you, Paul, and I'd rather keep hold of them, to be very honest with you. Andy Norfolk, Teach Mode's in the chat this afternoon. Got you in the living room, not on mute. I trust you, bud. I'm drinking 5.6%, Andy. Nah. Headphones, mate. Andrew Martin says North London derby on Wednesday too. Buzzing for that. Yeah, I'm not. I know what's going to happen. Yeah, but if Spurs win, the laptop and everything might go. Stefan White's in the chat. He says 5-0. Wow, what happened? What you missed, Steph, was me introducing you as the first guest on the Chapman FPL stream next week. But yeah, you can rewind for that later. Yeah, your team went a bit mental, mate. News from Villa Park. Borough have replaced Dean Windass with Noel Whelan. Is that Whelan in midfield? Probably. Whilst Aston Villa are about to bring on Dion Dublin for Juan Pablo Angel. A quiet start to the second half. So Angel left out last week. Coming off early this week. Very importantly for Angel as well, he's only going to play in one of the two games in game week 15. Yeah, because obviously he's going to play for Colombia. Yeah, he's one for Gooners. Okay, don't say I don't do anything for you. Thierry Henry has equalised for Arsenal at the Cottage. Assist goes to Oleg Luzny. Henry has scored for Arsenal. It's 2-2 now at Fulham, so 3 goals in the opening 8 minutes of the second half there at Fulham. FP Badger says Manshold in the house next Saturday. Probably not, Mark, because distancing and shit. Probably not. Billy Hadaway, Canute is Gary. Gary Smith's his bucker. Stefan White says, damn it, working lad. You get it on rewind, pal. Jessica Price says, what about tonight if you lot beat Chelsea? I'm expecting to beat Chelsea. It's a home game. Chelsea is rancing away from home. What a start to the second half. Arsenal equalised once more. Really excellent work from Lusley down the flank as he beats Harley before sending in a decent ball. Henry reacts to it quickly, swivels on it lightning fast and finishes low. Nice. There is some big forward players who have scored in this game week. Van Nistelrooy, Henry, Viduka. Phillips has an assist, obviously. Henry, if I didn't mention. Obviously Hasselbank, Redbroth to go later today. Yeah, I'm on 2 goals from captain, goal from Fowler, assist Phillips. I don't think I'm in a bad place. Barry Thomas Trigger will happily pay money to see Suj try and do keepy uppies. I'd love to do that sort of thing next week, but I think the whole distancing thing's going to make that not happen. Ram says, fair play, James. Yeah, I know. It's because you're a gooner. Yeah. All right. There you go. There was one little chant for you, mate. By the way, obviously that crowd noise wasn't of Arsenal fans. It was of France fans. Obviously, you know Arsenal fans don't make noise other than Twitter noise. Substitution at Ewood Park. Darryl Powers picked up a knock. He tried to run it off but can't continue. He limps off with Adam Murray coming on. Blackburn are about to bring on David Dunn for Alan Mahon. Chris Riggott has been booked for Derby County. Christoph Sam says, Henry, my guy. Will Cantrell says, thank fuck, Henry's returned for me. Faith restored. Sorry, Andy North. I'm just reading out what's in the comments, mate. Stephen Hampton, finally Henry taking a bit of the sting off Rude. Ria Mills says, getting Henry. Jason Christopher Dorney, yay, Henry captain. West Ham's finishing has been way off today despite a continued improvement under Alex McLeish. The Scot replaces Freddie Canute with Jermaine Defoe, and he'll be hoping the Englishman is a better finisher than the man he is replacing. Stephen White says, premium forwards are back. Yep. Trends. Keep moving. It's an FPL game. It's the way of life. Gary Mantle, 14 years since Chelsea last lost this at the Lane. Yep, absolutely correct. 1987 was the last time Spurs beat Chelsea at White Hart Lane. It's 2001, you idiots, yeah. Real Cantrell, I have Ruud van Nistelrooy, Henry and Viduka in my starting lineup this week. Yay! What does the rest of your team look like? Paul Tinkler, are those cans 330ml, James? How many you got lined up for next Saturday? I've been talking to Steph. Steph, you probably missed to mention me about them Hawksmoors as well. They'll do me good. Yes, it's a 330ml can. Woodwork's been here at Anfield. Leicester nearly back level from 3 down. My God. Dennis Wise picks out Andy Impey and his fierce shot hits the bar and Gerrard manages to clear. Wake up, Liverpool. Liverpool now replace Biscan with Wright and Sir Joland has been booked. Oh, it's that time, isn't it? 57 minutes. So Biscan, 1 pointer there for Liverpool. We're all just waiting for the 90th minute tweet, aren't we? Goal Scowcroft, assist Wise. Pep Talk says, does the game know about Chelsea being Spurs' bogey team for years and years? The game won't have a clue, mate. It won't have a clue. It won't have any impact on it. Andy North says, disgusting, James. Teaching my boy new words. Don't worry. You're on low volume. It's all good. Couldn't give a fuck. Ah! Gary Smith. Have you found Kieran Dyer? He's just scored, mate. Christian Besaidis with the assist. Kieran Dyer with the goal. Besaidis he's ticking along very nicely now, Christian Besaidis. Dyer with a goal. Besaidis with the assist. Bolton's clean sheet is gone, which means only Sunderland, Manchester United and Ipswich are holding on to theirs at the moment. FBL Hitman, another Phillips return would be nice. Johnson seems finally like he will have a quiet game week. You jinxed that with half hour to go, boy. Near Shakhtar, Beatty is my third striker, doing great. Yeah, but he might come on and score. Real Cantrell, Beckham, Kumash, Johnson, McPhail in midfield, Fester, Herman and Titus in defence, Kylie in goal. How's that, James? Well, since you put it all there, I'm just going to say it's rubbish. Just rubbish. Pathetic. I'd quit. I'm joking with us. Good team, mate. Newcastle take a leaf out of Bolton's book. Robbie Elliott plays a long ball forward, but Besaidis brings it under control before brilliantly crossing for Dyer, who heads past Yaskalion. Prior to that, Walton replaced Barhurst. Prior to that, Bolton replaced Warhurst with Nishizawa. And substitution at Ipswich. Oh my goodness. For the second game in a row, Jason Kumas is off before 60 and would have locked in 3 pointers in both. It's 2 points rather than 6 for Kumas. Miller on for him. Plenty of chances for both sides here. Surprisingly, it's a very open game. Makin will come on for Jermaine Wright and Beatty will come on for Pars shortly. That's the end of Jason Kumas for me, I think, unless I've got injury problems. Yeah, take a chance on maybe Steve Malbronk. Did very well for me before for them doubles. Or look at downgrading, which allows me a very easy to get a third United player in before game week 17. Scored again, Thierry Henry. Arsenal now lead at Fulham. Thierry Henry with his second. They lead Fulham by 3-2. There's no assister on that one. Henry has put Arsenal in front for the first time today. Yeah, I'm a Kumas owner as well. Dick Wellington, need Kumas or Fanidi to do something positive before I'm toast. You better keep your fingers crossed for Fanidi, mate. Dick Wellington, damn Kumas. Skylar Dyer coming good after 8 weeks of patience. Bloody hell. John Yakos and Jesus, poor Kumas owners. Eritrava, Kumas. Nice Godfrey, Nell Jason again. That manager, don't trust him. Philium 2, Kumas is getting a bullet after next week. That's exactly what I just said. Clean sheet wipeout, says Rickett, still not making an appearance then. No, interestingly not. Jose Vargas, he's out. Graham Sean, Kumas out. Oh, he's getting bombed out, isn't he? Will cancel. Okay, Kumas off out. Thinking Steed or Stolzer soon. There you go. What's it, Steed, I think. Arsenal lead. Tony Adams advancing forward for some unknown reason. Sends a cross into the box. Robert Perez meets it and heads towards goal. Van der Sar parries it, but only as far as Henry, who is left with a simple finish. Goal fest at the Cottage. Will Cantrell's happy with the Henry return, obviously. Jessica Price is stinky. Not the right premium striker. It's obviously 2 for Henry and Van Nistelrooy now. Billy Hadaway, did anyone keep Henry? Yeah, Will Cantrell, definitely. Stephen Hamilton is another one. Says, Henry, you beauty. Was worried you'd play the crowd noise and say he's subbed. I so should have done that. Just for the crack. Pep Talk, Kumas was my fault. Sorry everyone, transferring game week 30. Oh, Pep Talk, man. Wow, what'd you do that for? Scarlett says, do you have a Phillips chant for later? That would be telling, wouldn't it? I certainly wasn't going to play it for an assist. Will Cantrell, my front three trending hell. Real Mills, yes, kept Henry, Bill Hadaway. Jason Christopher Doyle, yes, Henry, beauty. Yes, definitely a few there have kept Henry. It's only one game missing, wasn't it? Brilliant differential now. Jamie Humphries, used my transfer to bring in Kumas instead of Rebov. Hope this don't bite me in the arse. Feeding to eyeing up the Henry and Rude again. Yeah, Henry, I mean, I brought him in for the Blackburn away game. Thinking, yeah, Blackburn away. Obviously, it was Sunderland at home and he was meant to play, and was Derby at home. And then obviously this one, thinking 4 brilliant fixtures. Whereas I think everyone was just thinking about the 2, and I was thinking brilliant run of 4 fixtures before I decide what I'm doing with blanks, doubles, and at the time as well it was possible they might have had the Newcastle double around about 16 as well. So yeah, I mean, it was too much money to let go once I knew that the Newcastle double was off personally, and then my own chip strategy, others will be on different ones, so it's absolutely fine. He's going to do really well, Henry, 100%, and you can see, look, there's the top 10 ownership, he's not on it. It's been a much quieter start to the second half here at Old Trafford. United look happy to conserve their energy, and there's very little happening. United have brought on Dennis Irwin for Philip Neville, while Everton replaced Radzinski with Kevin Campbell. Yeah, none of that surprised me. Billy Hadaway says, bring the little man in again and maybe Henry will get sent off. Yeah, I got some bad news on that. He's probably he's taking a nap. And some bad news as well for those who own Liverpool defensive owners that don't own. Sami Hyypiä has scored for Liverpool. Get in! Sami Hyypiä has scored for Liverpool at Anfield. No assister. 4-2 to Liverpool now. If Leicester win this one, Ed Cannon will be getting another tattoo above his Dean Kiley tattoo, I think. Sami Hyypiä, the goal scorer for Liverpool. They lead Leicester by 4-2. 25 minutes or so to go. Aritrara says, think the average will be over 60 at least. I think you might be onto something there with the amount of captaincy returns, and obviously the fact that Van Nistelrooy's got 2 this week as well. Yeah, could very well be. I mean, Van Nistelrooy with top bonus is looking at what, a 26 pointer at the moment, and what average last game week was 40. Was it 40 to 50, wasn't it? 50-ish, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, average looks like it's going to exceed 60 when you factor in other Fowler, even little Phillips return, Viduka, Omri, etc. Corner whipped in at Anfield again by Hegem on the Hyypiä goal. Ball deflects off Delaney and towards Hyypiä, who heads it neatly past Ian Walker. Liverpool head by 2. What a cracker here. Yes, 4-2 to Liverpool. Max is few. Jose Vargas, yes. David Storm getting Sammy. Brian Yule, finally, never doubted you, Sammy. That could end up even in the top bonus for Hyypiä maybe as well. Certainly him and Henshaw attracted to him, aren't they? I don't know if there's any weightage to that or not from defenders scoring. Graham Sean, dang, bottled heart Hyypiä for a -4. Mac, Johnston, Boxic really need to wake up. Middlesbrough's time will come. Mac says Johnson Bokic really need to wake up. I just fucking said that, useless bastard, James. Nice, only popular players score today. It's like a complete reverse of the week, isn't it? It felt like all Wednesday night it was nothing. Now there's loads of highly owned players, or certainly very good popular differentials returning. Pep Talk suddenly hate all my midfielders: Poyet, Gerrard, Kuma, Svensson and Nolan. Yeah, I got 3 of them. Johnson is another one. But other players are doing okay for me at the moment. FPL Badger is so annoying, was 0.5 short of Hyypiä on my wild card and went with Risa, who's obviously out for a month. Joel Stout, Fowler, Katzin and Hyypiä both in my 3 hit squad last week. Yeah. FPL Blade, Brian, yes, Hyypiä. No, I guess that'll you'll do for him. Yeah. Pet Talks is unlucky, Joel. Yeah, it's the way it goes, isn't it? Will cancel Ipswich clean sheet would be top. Oh no, Will, what are you doing, man? Would definitely justify a Herman and Titus defence. Steph White says, what vape liquid using? I'm on the mixed fruits as per always, Steph. I'm a glutton to the same vape, mate. Max laughing. FPL Blade, Svensson being very disappointing. Brad Lewandon said needs Saints to ruin Ipswich clean sheet. Yeah, for those saying, oh, I've only got 1, you still want the 1 over the none, I think. I'm potentially at the moment looking for returns from... Well, actually, I do have returns. I have actually attacking returns from all 3 of my defenders and all 3 forwards. Nothing in my midfield, and obviously my goalkeeper's conceded a couple. Interesting. We are about 22 minutes to go. Obviously Leeds beat Charlton 4-0 earlier. Villa and Middlesbrough is 1-1. So too is Blackburn and Newcastle. Bolton lead Newcastle 2-1. Arsenal now 3-2 up at Fulham. Thierry Henry has got a couple. Ipswich leads Southampton 1-0 for that Matt Holland goal. Liverpool now lead Leicester 4-2. Sami Hyypiä with the most recent goal of the day. Manchester United were 5-0 up against Everton at half-time. Remain 5-0 up. Van Nistelrooy and Andy Cole in for Dwight York both got a couple. Lilian Laslandis has both of Sunderland goals as they lead West Ham 2-0. If you join in late, obviously you can look down the bottom of your screen. You'll see all the goals and assisters throughout the day. Obviously David Beckham with Manchester United's other goal today. Giggs, Veron, Silvestre and Roy Keane with the assisters. As I said earlier, every single Manchester United player from the starting 11 is on for a return as it stands. Brian Newell says Hyypiä is more of a goal threat than my kind of namesake. Sorry, Tomo. Notorious Nerd, what do you make of FPL announcement earlier today? Wasn't that yesterday? Who cares? Don't play your chips. Seem fairly commonplace anyway. That's it. Wait and see. On substitution to tell you about at the Reebok. I can tell you that Michael Ricketts is on. Bruno Ngotti rolled his ankle nastily a few minutes ago and has come off for Michael Ricketts. Newcastle have replaced Bellamy with Lamana Luar. It's been an even game. Newcastle are pushing for an equaliser. Rob Pick's looking for a Sylvester red card. Sorry, Andy. I'm on quiet, but that's a visual, isn't it? Sorry. Pep Talk, FPL Blair, I'm totally with you, mate. Svensson had a run of really good fixtures. Been terrible. Yeah, a few early subs there as well on Svensson. Heavy Finger 7 looking like my first 70 plus game week. Sereni, Blanc, Hendry, Hippier, McPhail and Rude Van Nistelrooy captain looking good. Alan Daddy says Svensson over Wise was not a good decision in hindsight. FPL Blade, yeah, giving Svensson double next week, then he's a goner. Also says Alan, that wasn't a wide decision. Alan Daddy, hee hee, says can't believe I didn't think of that one myself. Oh, really, guys? I've said this before. There ain't many of you in this chat that make comedians. Possible penalty at Anfield. Moment of controversy here. Taggart brings down Sojourland in the box, who I thought had gone off. Or has he come on? He come on, didn't he? It looks like a pen, but the ref says the ball was won and it's not given. Liverpool bring off Carragher for Vignal, while McAnuff is on for Impey for the Foxes. Nah, Sojourland started and he's gone off, I think. I'm convinced about that. Mind you, this could be completely wrong. Yes, Sojourland went off on 57 minutes, but he's nearly won a penalty on 71. Go on, boys. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Have you cloned him? I mean, I find it hard enough to say his name once. I think you just put his name in there again because, you know, I find it just about the most difficult one to be. No, he didn't. He got booked. Oh, maybe he didn't go off. Oh, shit, I'm sorry. He got booked. He didn't go off. He got booked. Oh, I'm chatting out my arse as per usual. I'll make a world-class habit out of talking out my bum. James Mahoney says, what a FPL announcement. Can you clarify what you mean there, James? Sorry. Alex Turner says, for me, the streams where FPL has been missing all along. Cheers, pal. We're due team news, aren't we, at White Hart Lane imminently. I just saw Gary Shepherd said he could do without Poyet playing. No, I've got Klaus Jensen first sub. I think Selakovic can be back in central midfield. That's my instinct. Goal. Where is it? Where's the goal? I haven't got the notification. Where's the goal? It's at the Reebok. Luar's doing somersaults. He's brought Newcastle level. Robbie Elliott with the assist. 2-2 at the Reebok. Luar the score. Robbie Elliott the assist. We have substitutions to tell you about the Stadium of Light. Change of piece. Gary McCann is off for Medina for Sunderland, whilst West Ham replaced Joe Cole, who has been quiet, with Paul Kitson. This game has been low on quality, plenty of chances, but poor finishing. Feels like 19th versus 20th. It does for most West Ham games. Gary Shepherd, unfortunately, yeah, Kumas did go off earlier. It's just the host of this stream's chatting absolute rubbish, basically. Brad Lewandon, I'm always pissed. I've had about 20 years of damage done to my body, mate. So even if I'm not drinking, I'm pissed. Yes, Sojourland, who I'm sure is in all your teams. Yeah, he's still on the pitch. What? Heavy Finger 7 says that James's Linton start controversy for ratings having dropped dramatically from 20,000. I know, it's bad, isn't it? I love the people who I did a screen grab at the end, said it peaked at 20,000, and I sent a tweet out after saying, "Oh, thanks for everyone who joined in the stream. You know, peaked at 20,000 viewers tonight." Just left it cash, and so many people were responding with like, "Wow, that's incredible! Congrats!" Numpties. Great play by Robbie Elliott on the Newcastle equaliser down the left flank as he moves forward into space before putting in a perfect pass for Luar, who blasts into the top corner from the edge of the box. Brilliant goal. Goal at Ewood Park. Matt Janssen now has a goal to go with his assist. And the assister is the Turkish Delight 2 guy. Blackburn lead Derby 2-1. Janssen with the goal, Tugay with the assist. Ipswich, Manchester United, Sunderland still holding on to clean sheets. I bet there's some Michael Gray owners out there. There's definitely some Ipswich defensive owners out there. There's definitely some Manchester United defensive owners out there. We know, of course. Will they hold on to it? The closer it gets, the more likely it is to happen. Graham Sean saying, come on Henrik, get that winner. Biddy Hadaway says, Sujoland is pronounced Sherland. Oh, Billy, that's possibly the best thing that anyone's ever put in this chat. Sherland. Brilliant. I'm so happy. A little bit of wee just came out. I'm so happy with that. Sherland. I can't do it. Sherland. We'll go with Sherland. Alright, cool. Tugay back in the assists. He picks out the unmarked Janssen with a lovely pass and the Englishman drives it home. Absolutely deserved goal. He's been brilliant. Blackburn replaced Grabby now with Thomas. Derby have replaced Rigger, who was on a booking with Dianio. So Janssen's certainly looking in the bonus there. Will be very well earned. James Mahoney, what FPL announcement was made yesterday? Don't use your bloody chips. That's it. Just don't use your chips. Don't get clever. Oh, I'm going to bench boost in case it's... Stop it. It's not happening. I've told you not to do it. Stephen Hamilton held Tugay for so long. This is the week I got rid. You held on through them away games and now you got rid. Jessica Pye's still got Tugay. She says yes, Tugay. Team news in from White Hart Lane. It is 3-4-1-2. It is Salakovic at centre midfield. Stefan Everson is back in the Spurs team. Dean Richards is in for Ledley King. So I'm not saying I called it and I haven't got the game to sim it, but that is very much what I suspected. For Chelsea, Carbone starts in the 10 position for Chelsea. There is no Gronkia or Stanish. I think Stanish had picked up an injury, hadn't he? Zola plays right up top again. Idaker Johnson is only a substitute. I'll go through those full teams. So Spurs are 3-4-1-2. It's Keller, Bunjevcevic, Perry, Richards, the back three. Anderton and Ziga as wing backs. Poyet, Salakovic, central midfield. Salakovic allowed to go into the 10 position, where Sheringham is then allowed to join the front two of Rebrov, Everson. On the bench for Spurs, Neil Sullivan, Andy Rushbury. I'm telling you, I have no idea who this kid is. Simon Davis, Ledley King and Richard Johnson. And the full Chelsea lineup, same system as Spurs, 3-4-1-2. It's Cudicini in goal, back three of Gallas, Ferrer, Terry. Wing backs are Babiaro and Melchiot. Midfield 2, Lampard and Petit. Carbone, we're in number 7, plays in the 10 position. Zola and Hasselbank, the front two. On the bench for Chelsea, Reece Evans, star of FPL Tacticians Dead Team. Idaker Johnson, Budavine Zenden, Jesper Gronkiar and Joe Keenan. I've lost my tweet deck, which is a massive problem. Substitutions to tell you about at Craven Cottage. Changes for both sides. Malbronk and Harley leave the field to be replaced by McAnespie and Howes. For Arsenal, Ashley Cole and Robert Perez are replaced by Matthew Upson and Jermaine Pennant. The Gunners have been on top nearly all game. They'll be hoping to hold on. Goal at Old Trafford. At one point today, he was the only Manchester United player not getting a return. Roy Keane has his second. No assist. Roy Keane with his second for Manchester United, who now lead Everton by 6-0. Keano, there's only one Keano. Except that's obviously the one playing at Leeds and due to join Tottenham Hotspur next summer. Graham Sean brought Salakovic back this week. I suck. Doesn't mean he won't return. I just think it was an away formation for Spurs, I think Salakovic will go back at 10 for Arsenal away. But is that what you want to hear? And then, of course, drops his phone. Does it make Rebrov a real danger for that double game week 15? Could it be that Everson plays at Arsenal rather than Rebrov, for example, if you're going that way? I think they're all a risk for the free hitters and those playing in that way. Information on the Keane goal at Old Trafford. United have had all the play and are knocking it around for fun. Alexanderson tackles Veron well in the box. The ball comes out to Keane, 25 yards out. He takes on the shot. I mean, why not when you're 5-0 up? And it flies in, a beauty. United 6-0 up. Gary Smith saying Benito Carboni. Question. Yes, correct, Gary. Benito Carboni. Speedy really lolls at the 6-0. Nice Godfrey says, wow, he did Gronkyard dirty. It's Claudio Ranieri, man. Chelsea are just... I don't care. Yeah, I'm going to miss some returns. I don't know what I'm going to do with them for this free hit. I think Hasselbank, Kudicini, that might be it for me, I think. Rob Pick sold Selakovic and he immediately moved to attacking midfield centre. Brought him back and he moves to midfield. Substitutions to tell you about at Villa Park. Not been much report in this second half. Aston Villa in particular have defended excellently. Vassell has come on for Balaban for them. Borough roll the dice now, bringing off Dean Flash Gordon for debutant teenager Arturo Bernhardt. As you are. As you are. Billy Hadaway thought it was going to be a goal the second half at OT. Brian Yule, Keane again. We're all sleeping on him. At least someone's sleeping on him. Gary Smith thought he played for Wednesday. Gary, man. I don't know what to do with you. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And then like Villa and then Bradford. Now Chelsea. Keep up. Nice says he's not sleeping on Keane. Just pick better options. Ipswich clean sheet is gone. James Beattie, the goal scorer for Southampton. He's on the pitch and scored. James Beattie. And the assist goes to Mark Draper. Ipswich Town's clean sheet is gone. Wow. Some people in this chat have treble. I'm certain of it. 8 minutes to go at Portman Road. FPL Ferrer saying, has anyone got a hat-trick? Yes on this sim, and a few. Chris Bateman. FPL Heskebo was saying, yet Lewis Barmorte. So through Andrew Martin. Brian Yule also saying, obviously Viduka in that away fixture at Fulham the other week. Luke Desay was saying, Slovakic will fit between both. Spurs do this. I think it's backing up kind of what I've said, but obviously trust Luke's opinion massively. It's kind of semi-agreeing. He's going to change between centre mid and attacking mid until there's clarity, I think. Until there's clarity of, Sheringham's out for a while or something like that. There have been plenty of chances at Portman Road for both sides, though more for Ipswich here. But Southampton have taken one. Beattie gets on the end of Draper's cross to head past Sereni from 10 yards. Danny Rodriguez has come on for Kevin Davis. Huge goal that. Andre says, Melchuk to save my game week. I hope not. Can't you Spurs? Sean Murphy, double Ipswich, gone. Rory Cartwright, let's have a Borough that hurts. Andrew Martin, big goal that. You're not wrong, pal. FPO Lucky, FPO Lucker. Wow, with Sereni and Horizon, that's a real sickener. Billy Hadaway, bloody hell, left Beattie on the bench. You did the right thing there, Billy. Will Cantrell, Borough goal saved my week. Aritrava says Ipswich double clean sheet gone. Edward Healy's got Horizon, Bramble and Sereni. Clean sheet wipeout. Double Ipswich has gone for clean sheet wipeout. Sereni and Sirico. FPL Ferrell, get Gary on the 24-hour stream and out with Gaz. Gary Smith, you can phone in via Zoom if you can work out how it works on a couple of occasions. And I'll tell Suj if you call in, he's got to make sure you get in, mate. Pep Talk, is that Ipswich clean sheet wipeout actually better for me with only one of their defenders? I don't know. I don't think they're that highly owned. Brian Yule left Sereni on the bench, so a little relieved. Rion Mills, Southampton go and win it now. Andrew Martin, oh yeah, I forgot about the Viduka hat-trick. Did I mention I got team of the week that week? Nah, tell us about it, Andy. Never heard nothing about that, you prick. Feely M2, Herman Horizon, but not too bothered about it. It's just clean shit. Going. Yeah, that's how I'd feel. Got something and he could still be in the bonus. Obviously, any of them could be. You never know. Tarico picks up man of the match. Haridason nothing. And they're on the same return, right? So, wait for the bonus, of course. Brad Lewandon, Selakovic and Melchot in the late game. Come on, boys. Who we got in the late game? I've just got Poyet. Anybody got more than, say, 3? Just let us know if you've got more than 3 or more in the late game. Final Richie, Tarico, Bramble and Sereni. Gone. Ouch. Near Shakhtar interested to see Peter's saves. That'd be Peter Schmeichel, I presume. Stephen Hamilton. A lot of Hulk Hogan owners. Loads. What you gonna do? Rob Pick. There's only a Haridas owner from Ipswich. I'm not sure if that is a negative or a positive with the amount of double earners and with him having an assist. I would have personally took the opinion on it and said, oh, big goal. Thierry Henry, hat-trick for Arsenal. Jermaine Pennant with the assist. Thierry Henry has got a hat-trick for Arsenal. Henry, captainers, you've won. Incredible. Second half hat-trick for Henry at Fulham. 4 minutes to go at the Cottage. They lead Fulham by 4 goals to 2. My thinking of it was clean sheet, assist, bonus, potentially 12-pointer for Haridason. So we're still looking for that over other people's doubles that would have levelled out, right? So, yeah, a bit disappointed actually, personally. It depends what the effective of it is. I'm not that clever. Billy Hadaway says, is Beatty looking good for the double game week now? No. Andrew Martin, Flapjackers 5 in late game, I believe. Boom. Ryan Foley has Poyet, Selakovic and Rebrov. Information on the Henry goal. Seals his hat-trick and seals the win for Arsenal. Another goal from a cross. Pennant crossing towards the near post. And the Frenchman nips in for his third of the day. That Judas prick has been booked as well. Speedy Reedy. Woo! Hat-trick. Innsbrucken's got Poyet, Keller, Rebrov in the late game. Nice is obviously happy with it. Henry. Max says WTF. Josh Woodbridge says just 3 for me. Seller Has Rebrov. I think it's Hasselbank, I'm guessing. Christoph Sam, well done, Henry. Yeah, go and send him a beer. Nice Godfrey, how many captained Henry? Not many. 1 or 2%, I think. Biddy Hadaway, we need another goal from Rude now. Stephen Hamilton, get in Henry, you beautiful Frenchman. B. Connery, Luke was saying this week that Henry usually smashes Fulham. Well, he has. Scala, someone had to ask if anyone has scored a hat-trick, and there you go. FPL Ferrell says Vava dog shit. Jessica Pye, I feel like this late game is going to be a bit like the real Spurs v Chelsea in FPL this season. Pick a Spurs player, Son, and he makes a mess of it. Trust in Spurs, girl. Disabled. Fulham equals open game. Always a chance. Home and away, not always full story. Very true. 2 away hat-tricks in this simulation, though. Both scored against Fulham, Viduka and Henry. Speedy Reedy TV, lol. Didn't captain Henry or Ruud van Nistelrooy. Went Veron. Well, Veron's got about a minute and a half to get a couple yet, and judging by 2 weeks ago, he might. Jason Christoph Dornery, Henry, yes. Rion Mills, the game needs this to mix up the Van Nistelrooy captain. I agree, I don't have an issue with it. Brian Yule, Henry scores a hat-trick before Van Nistelrooy. Interesting. Rods, Henry out for Rebrov and Wildcard. Will Cantrell will take the Henry hat-trick but still holding out for a Borough return. Gary Shepherd, many people have both Ruud van Nistelrooy and Henry captain. A few, I think. Henry's top 300 captaincy, 1%. Overall, 8%. We've had a last-minute goal in every single game week so far this season, and today has been an absolute goal fest. Where do we see today's last-minute goal coming? I think Everton. Everton would be hilarious. If it rocks up for Everton, I'll stitch myself up laughing so hard. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen. Like, random Mark Pembridge or some shit. FPL Blade saying it's Scowcroft time, isn't it? Speedy Reedy's still looking for a Veron hat-trick. Yeah, alright, mate. Pep Talk, Fulham games worth targeting for players on both sides, high scoring and high conceding. Go to Liverpool as part of the double game week 16. I've got to go Fowler captain with Liverpool 2 home games, I think. I have to. This is the 1 week I go against Rude. Got to. The answer to the late goal is in. There wasn't one. Chris, FPL captain. Turn them red. We're done. We're finished. Great afternoon of goals. Villa, Middlesbrough 1-1. Blackburn have beaten Derby 2-1. Bolton, Newcastle 2-2. Arsenal 4-2 winners at Fulham. Henry hat-trick. Ipswich, Southampton 1-1. James Beattie with a late goal for Southampton there against the many owned Ipswich defenders. Liverpool beaten Leicester by the same score that Arsenal beaten Fulham 4-2. Manchester United beaten Everton 6-0. Sunderland have beaten West Ham 2-0 in the Battle of the Basement, boys. We shall await bonus points. For those who want to disappear and get their bonus points on Twitter, which I know many of you is what you commonly like to do, why stick around with me. I'll be back Wednesday night, obviously, and of course next Saturday as well. Make sure 100% join in with the Champman FPL 9:30 stream tomorrow night. We'll obviously get huge information in terms of the doubles for 15. Going to alter many a plan for bench boost, for free hits. It's a game week 15 is huge, absolutely huge. Gary Smith saying bye bye Canute. Love it. FPL Blade saying must be some triple digit scores today. I'm sure there probably are. I think you're going to need a triple digit on game week 15. I'll say now, I think that the average in game week 15 will top 85. I'd say. There you go. It's going to be big, I think. Big. It's going to be bench boosts out there on that. It's going to be massive. You got to remember, unlike real FPL, everybody is pretty engaged in this. It's going to be really big, I think. This is the week to fix up that team, make it right. So for me, it's a free hit. Cheers, Gary Shepherd. I see you there, pal. Avitrava's worked his out. He's got 62 from 10 before bonus. I haven't got a clue. I feel like I might be near that. Ian's Bracket saying, pray for bonus. Who wants the Bundesliga scores? I'm joking. Don't put it in the chat. I might have a quick look. Oh yeah, Dortmund Schalke was a banger. Andrew Might says, is anyone playing triple captain in game week 15? I tell you what, here's a good one, right? As we're finishing off and we're waiting for bonus. Just smash in the chat now. What chip are you playing in game week 15? So just put FH for free hit, wildcard, WC, bench boost, BB, TC, TC. Go, smash the chat. What are you playing? And obviously for none, just put none. If you're like Sujan Shah in the chat. Keep drinking Corf and the boys. Lovely jubbly. We await the bonus news. I can tell you before the bonus comes in, a bit of a post-match update. Dean Gordon's substitution today was due to an injury. He seemed fine as he walked off, but he was heavily strapped as he walked back down the tunnel at 90 minutes. So huge potential blow there for Dean Gordon owners ahead of what might be a double game week for Middlesbrough in game week 15. Excuse me. Really interesting looking through the chat that there's certainly a mix. Lots of free hits. Not seeing many bench boosts. Cole Coots one. Jonathan Nagy another. Rods. It seems to be evening a bit. Do you know what? That's brilliant. It's brilliant that there seems to be such a mix in terms of how people are playing it. That's great. Don't want everybody on the same strategy. You know, you can say, Van Nistelrooy's ownership and all that, but look at this on the chip strategy. Huge mix, which means as well, when we walk into game week 16, Suj says he's playing his overall. When we walk into game week 16, we're going to get massive splits again. Really good. Bonuses coming in. I think these are going to come alphabetically. Tight affair at Villa Park. Borough will be disappointed to let the top two get away from them. Villa will be pleased with a point, you'd think. Top bonus goes to Paul Merson. 2 bonus points for Olaf Melberg. 1 bonus point for Stephen Carr, Alpine, Ian Taylor, Mustafa Hadji and Middlesbrough's Ugo Egiog. No save points in the game. No bookings in the game. The substitutes we knew of. Vassell on for Balaban on 67. Dublin for Angel on 54. Middlesbrough replaced Dean Windass with Noel Whelan on 48. Dean Gordon replaced by Arturo Bernhardt on 80. We now know that Gordon could well have an injury. Gareth Southgate with a 5 out of 10 rating is a notable. Merson's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. Olaf Melberg also with a 9 out of 10 rating. Top bonus at Ewood Park, unsurprisingly, goes to Matt Jansen. There are 2 bonus points for Stefano Aranio and Fabrizio Ravanelli of Derby, and 6 players from Blackburn. Alan Kelly, Martin Taylor, John Curtis, Henning Berg, Tugay and Marcus Bent. Alan Kelly also has 2 save point bonus to go on top of his 2 point bonus, giving him a total of 6 for the game week. Mark Poom had 1 save point. There were bookings in the game for Chris Rigger and Horatio Carbonari. Darryl Powell went off injured on 54 minutes, replaced by Adam Murray. Diano came on for Rigger on 69. Blackburn's changes were done for Marn on 57. And James Thomas replaced Corrado Grabby on 75. Matt Jansen's man of the match was a 10 out of 10 rating. All the others on the bonus were 8 out of 10 ratings. There were a few 5 out of 10s for Derby. Carbonari, Rigger, Seth Johnson, all 5 out of 10 ratings. Top bonus at Reebok goes to Colin Cooper. There are 2 bonus points for Neil Madison, Colin Hendry, Rob Lee, Shay Given, Warren Barton, Robbie Elliott, Olivia Bernard, Christian Besadas, Carl Court, Kieran Dyer, and Brave Lamana Luar. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 Newcastle players who've picked up bonus, and one of the other ones who's got a bonus from Bolton left them a couple of weeks ago to join Bolton in Rob Lee. So it's 1 save point bonus for Jaskalainen as well, and 2 save point bonus for Given. Cooper's man of match was a 9 out of 10 rating. Ricketts replaced the injured Ngotti on 60 minutes. Nishizawa replaced Warhurst on 55. Dabizas was replaced injured on 23 minutes by Gary Speed. Lualua replaced Craig Bellamy on 67. Lots of 8 out of 10s in that Newcastle team, in fairness. I think we'll probably find out tomorrow night that they're probably a little bit unfortunate not to win. Marcelino was the only player booked in the match. Top bonus at Fulham, of course, goes to Thierry Henry. There were 2 bonus points for Steve Marley, 1 bonus point for Ray Parlour. That's it, believe it or not. So a 10 out of 10 from Henry. Also a 10 out of 10 for Marley, who scored both of Fulham's goals. And a 9 out of 10 rating for Ray Parlour. So all the players on 8 out of 10s didn't pick up bonus. I'm going to give you the list of all of them. That's Corrigan, Gomar, Wadu, Legwinski for Fulham, Seaman, Campbell, Jeffers for Arsenal. All of them 8 out of 10s, but no bonus this week. 1 save point bonus for David Seaman as well. 2 save point bonus for Edwin van der Sar. 2 bookings in the game. Judas Campbell with one of them. Dimitri Albertini with the other. Fulham made late changes. McAnespie and Hales for Malbronk and Harley. And also Arsenal made late changes. Upson and Pennant on for Perez and Ashley Cole. Obviously Pennant with the assist for Henry's final goal. Top bonus at Portman Road. Again, it's the Icelander. Herman Hreidarsson has got it. There were 2 bonus points for, if he started him, FPL captains Klaus Lundikvarm. There was also 1 bonus point for Matteo Sereni, Maurizio Tarico, Titus Bramble, Pablo, Matt Holland, and for Southampton, Paul Jones, Mark Draper, James Beattie. Sereni also picks up an additional save point bonus. Paul Jones picks up an additional 3 save point bonus. Sounds like Ipswich should have taken this away, really. 3 of Southampton's back 4 were booked. Dan Petrescu, Wayne Bridge and Klaus Lundekvarm. Quite remarkable that for Bridge, because he went off injured after 10 minutes, replaced by Jason Dodd, who then went off injured after 91 minutes, interestingly. So I think Southampton actually finished here with 10 men, possibly. James Beattie came on for Marion Pahars, and Rodriguez came on for Kevin Davis, both beyond the hour. So Southampton did play injury time by looks of it with 10 men. Hariderson's man of match rating was a 9 out of 10. They replaced Kumas again, 1 pointer off from 59 minutes for Tommy Miller. Roycer came on an injury time for Jamie Clapham. Chris Makin on for Jermaine Wright on 64 minutes. To Anfield. Top bonus goes to Vegard Hegem. 2 assists and man of the match bonus. His man of the match rating was a 9 out of 10. There are 2 bonus points for Fowler. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Sejolan, Sheeland, whatever, him. Nick Barmby, and a few really interesting Leicester players to get 2-point bonus here. Matt Elliott, Muzzy Izzet, Dean Sturridge, and James Scowcroft. 1 booking in the match was for Daniel Shojans. Please come in the chat next week, remind me how to pronounce it, I've forgotten. Dennis Wires, interestingly, 5 out of 10 rating for Leicester. Dietmar Hamann was replaced on 51 minutes, also 5 out of 10 for Liverpool. He had been replaced by Jamie Redknapp. Stephen Wright came on for Igor Biscan on 57. Carragher was replaced by Gregory Vignal on 71. McAnuff for Impey on 71 as well was Leicester's only change. No save points in that encounter. Interestingly, I think the first headline from Old Trafford to say is that despite winning 6-0, there were no save point bonus for Paul Gerrard. He's been battered. Fabian Barthez, 1 save point bonus. Top bonus does go to the machine, Ruud van Nistelrooy. There were 2 bonus points for Roy Keane, and there is 1 each for 4 Manchester United players. Mikel Silvestre, David Beckham, Andy Cole, and Ryan Giggs. 2 bookings in the match for Silvestre and Thomas Gravesen. Paul Gerrard in Everton's goal picked up a 3 out of 10 rating. He also scored a 4 out of 10, I believe, in the 4-3 win over Liverpool this time last week. Thomas Rosicki had a 5 out of 10, so to Gary Naismith and Steve Watson. Van Nistelrooy's man of the match was a 10 out of 10 rating, so to Roy Keane, also 10 out of 10. The United players that I gave bonus to for 1 point have all got ratings of 9 out of 10. I'll give you the 8 out of 10s who have just missed the bonus. They are Barthez, Blanc, Veron, and substitute Dennis Irwin, who came on for Phil Neville after 63 minutes. Everton's solitary change was Campbell for Rosicki on 63. The only Everton player to rate higher than 6 out of 10 was Duncan Ferguson with a 7 out of 10. And finally, to the Stadium of Light, top bonus of course goes to Lilian Laslanders, who scored both goals in that 2-0 victory over West Ham. There were 2 bonus points, interestingly, for Chris Bart-Williams, and there was 1 bonus point for Thomas Sorensen, George McCartney, Emerson Tome, Stefan Schwartz, Kevin Phillips, and West Ham's Rigobert Song. There is 1 save point each for Sunderland and West Ham. They haven't put Sorensen and James, they put Sunderland and West Ham, so I'm going to repeat it as it is. 1 yellow card in the game. Joe Cole, who was also replaced on 72 minutes by Paul Kitson. Canute had been hooked for for Defoe on 54. Southampton's sole change was Medina for McCann on 65. Laslanders' man of match rating was a 10 out of 10. Bart Williams 9 out of 10, and all those who picked up 1 bonus point 8 out of 10. Those are your confirmed bonus points for the 3 PMs. Obviously, league tables, etc., will be posted by the official account after the 5:30 game, Spurs versus Chelsea. Come on, you Spurs! Other than that, as per usual, guys, thank you very much for joining in and making it a thoroughly enjoyable Saturday afternoon. That one was a bit of a blast. Really enjoyed that. We'll be back podding Monday night. Plenty coming up. Keep a close eye out on people's poll tomorrow, because it's going to make a few people go, what? Vote for the right thing. That's all I'm saying, because we need to come and be honest with our people. More on that tomorrow. Main podcast Monday. Obviously, I'll be streaming again Wednesday. Full content Monday to Friday. 24-hour stream, 6 a.m. next Saturday. Other than that, thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Ciao for now.